offense is going to be tied to our defense in this game as much as any game they scored off of, and didn't really give ourselves a chance at all. We can't do the same thing. We got to take care of the ball. We got to keep them out of transition, and then we're going to have to rebound the ball as well too.
So that's tonight in basketball. All the post-game reaction at Next Round Live. Before we go, when we showed the Alabama breakdown of how much it costs for all the other sports the other day, tell me if this stands out to you guys. Texas, I sent this to Forrester, is proposing building this. That is a volleyball arena.
What?
Next to the Moody Center. They drew 10,899 fans, 10,899 to the Moody Center to watch a game the other day. I mean, that's got an upper deck, and it would hold 6,000 plus fans for that volleyball arena next to the Moody
Well, it
Center.
seems like a waste of money.
Yeah, I mean, if you won every volleyball national championship from now until one of us dies, how much money is that program going to make?
I mean, like, if I'm a Texas fan, I'm like, hey, look, I like a little commitment to volleyball if that's your thing, but let's put this money towards football.
Yeah, really.
Sports Business Journal, in the tweet when they sent this out, had this paragraph. Women's sports teams are revenue drivers with universities investing in facilities in new ways.
Okay.
That was not what I saw.
No.
Impossible.
From the report that I saw.
They're not revenue drivers until there are major TV contracts for women's sports. Now, women's basketball is at its all-time high. Well, I'll say this. Women's basketball and fast pitch, they're at the height of their popularity right now. But if you unbuckled them from football and basketball and said, okay, now go get your own TV deals, what kind of money could those programs make? Not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at their height of their popularity, but if you untethered them from men's basketball and from college football and said, go get your TV money, those programs will die on the vine. So I just don't know how realistic it is to do something like
Now,
that.
boy, if I'm the Texas volleyball coach in 2029 recruiting that class to that place right there, I'd be...
Oh, yeah.
You ought to win every year.
Yeah.
But if I'm Sark and I'm like, I need another Cam Coleman,
I know.
let's put that on the back burner.
Can Cam spike it?
Now, a lot of schools have volleyball-specific arenas on campus already. It's just nothing that looks like that. Wow.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, if you're going to tell me they've got concerts rolling in and out this minute,
you could do that as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that
part
would be
of the Moody
great,
Center.
intimate, venue for concerts.
Scott's watched a lot of this. Scott, how long does a college volleyball match last? Like just a good, well-played volleyball match?
Say hour and a half, 2 hours.
I was going to say 90 minutes.
So that's the other thing is I'm going to build that big arena, and I'm only going to have fans in there hour and a half, 2 hours. So my concessions aren't going to go great. There's no halftime. Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All the SEC football teams are canceling all their big games. Oh, what happened to the mighty conference? Everybody's overreacting coast to coast. We'll talk that a little bit later in the show. NFL's getting good. There's one guy dropping social media hints about his future NFL home. Is he going back to Kansas City? Tyreek Hill, we'll talk about that move coming up. These guys, though, are refusing to let me talk 3 hours about Alabama basketball today. I asked them, I said, can we just do 3 hours on the game last night?
What
they said, we actually could just replay the game. It would fit perfectly in 3 hours.
That's true. That would take 3 hours.
What happened to your basketball show?
Well, a lot of things happened to my basketball show. But it would, last night was an unbelievable basketball game. When you sit here and you see people who are basketball people like the Field of 68 say game of the year, and they start debating, is that the game of the year? 117-115 double overtime, and you sit here and you just can't describe what you saw last night. Just great individual performances and stuff. My mind's blown right now.
No, it was. I mean, it was an incredible game. Darius Acuff, what he was able to do, 50 full minutes. Every minute he was out there scoring 49 points. There was defensively nothing Alabama could do. I don't know if my voice is going to make it today.
No.
Post-Odies.
Lance's voice went double
I've got
overtime.
a Ricola back here. Would you like one?
A Ricola?
Sure.
Ricola.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah. This used to be really a problem when we were 6 a.m. after Odies.
Yeah, and when smoking was allowed at Odies, it was even worse.
Look,
You remember those days?
Well, I mean,
no, it was actually pre-Odies. I will give it to Lance.
Shit. I'm day 23, by the way. So
yeah, I talked to him pre-Odies, and it was already bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. But Alabama to be down 14 in the second half, to be able to come back, and then, I thought Acuff hit the shot. Was it in the first overtime?
That was the one that sent it to overtime, 95-92.
Yeah, I'm talking about, but he had kind of a chippy in the first overtime to end it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he tried to throw the alley-oop to extend it in the second overtime. When, I am not going to question anything Darius Acuff did, because we could go on and we could do the 3 hours on how good he was. That's how good he was. But, boy, you would just like to see him take the shot rather than throw the alley-oop there. The guy couldn't miss.
We've got a running joke when we do Odie's team trivia. If Alabama is on at 6 o'clock, they have the big screen pulled down on the stage. And so we obviously can't start trivia until after the game. And we're like, what if it goes to overtime? Well, it went to overtime, and then it goes to double overtime.
Yeah. Double overtime, 117-115. We'll break it down a little bit here, but let's listen to a little bit of Nate Oates. And if you watch this game, Alabama scored 58 of their 117 in the paint. Cut number 4, here's Nate Oates explaining why that worked for them last night against Cal's Arkansas team.
We played 50 minutes tonight, had 86 possessions, and we only took 29 threes. So everybody's worried about taking our 3 away, which they should be with the way we play, and this team was too. They did some switching, and the lane was wide open for Rel on those those rolls because they're so worried about our 3-point shooting. But we ended up outscoring them in the paint by 12. So I thought Barron did a good job of that, finding Sherrell on the roll, getting to the paint himself, drawing fouls. So if you combine the paint points and the free throws, we're plus 23. So everybody's – and they shot 3 less threes, but made 3 more. So they made more threes than us. They shot a better percentage from it, but we were able to adjust. Teams want to take away 3. That's fine. We can score in the lane, score at the rim, score at the free throw line. I thought our guys did a pretty good job of that, and I think Labaron was right at the top, making sure he had it up, that paint attack, free throw attack, and did a good job with that tonight.
On that 17-2 run, it seemed like every Alabama possession, and I think they hit like 6 of 6 field goals.
There was a point late, right before overtime, where it showed the graphic. Alabama was shooting 84% in the second half.
Yeah, and they ended up still shooting 76% in the second half. But there was one point where they'd hit 6 or 7 straight field goals, and it seemed like every one of them was either Philon, Holloway, or Wrightsell driving with their left hand into the lane and drawing contact and putting it up on the rim, and it either going in or them going to the free throw line. It was like a duplication of that play over and over and over again, and they just never adjusted their defense or stopped fouling, letting them have it. It was an odd sequence that just kept letting Alabama chip away.
Yeah, there were just so many times. Well, First of all, Alabama comes out red hot, and Calipari has to use a very early timeout, which, according to Jimmy Dykes and Carl Ravitch, he had told them he wasn't intending on doing.
Yeah, something Nate Oates will not do.
Yeah, Nate Oates does not call timeouts. And Calipari did not want to either, Jim, because he knew he had a short bench last night, and he had told Dykes and Ravitch, I'm going to say my timeouts to rest my guys because I got a very short bench, which, by the way, that became a big issue. Well, he has to call that timeout early, and by the way, it was a great timeout. Alabama cooled off, and Arkansas got red hot coming out of that timeout. Like, I don't know that I have ever seen a better shooting performance than you saw at Arkansas at the end of that first half. From that Calipari timeout until the half, Arkansas could not miss.
Yeah, and they were playing Alabama basketball.
They were.
Hitting those threes. That's exactly what Bama wanted to do in the first half.
Could not miss. Could not miss. I mean, it was just up and down the floor. Could not miss.
And that's what we were expecting going into the game because you had the third and sixth best offensive efficiency, two of the fastest teams. So we knew it was going to be one of the high-scoring affairs, and it ends up being the highest-scoring game of the year because of the double overtime. Didn't quite get there in regulation, but it was trending that way at halftime. But Darius Acuff, with his 49 points in a losing effort, Acuff becomes the first freshman to drop 49 on an AP top 25 team, most points ever for a freshman against an AP top 25 team, and the most points scored by a freshman since 1990.
But not the most points ever by an Arkansas Razorback. Did you see who has it? I never would have guessed this guy.
Well, if you say that, because I'm going to guess Scotty Thurman,
Todd Day,
maybe Joe Klein.
It's not our boy it's not the shooter. It's not the shooter.
It's shooter.
Rodney Clark.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Would not have gotten to that name.
Rotney. You remember that?
I do remember that name, but I would never have guessed him.
Wow.
Well, Acuff won't get many more opportunities because he won't be in that uniform.
No, I mean, there's discussion. A lot of people are saying, is that the best guard ever to play for Calipari? Now that is.
Well, he answered that question. He was walking out last night in the post game, and we don't have that audio because he wasn't. He stood up.
Yeah, he went on the podium.
Was about to walk away, and he's a nice, smart ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Calipari sets down. He's very nice, and I love Cal. He sets down. And he's like, no opening comment. What you guys got?
Right.
And couple of the guys who travel with Arkansas basketball for their websites ask him some questions that I personally, I'm not going to be Mick Cronin. I didn't think they were great questions, and he made them good answers.
They raised their voice.
He took a question and made it good answers, like Nick Saban did for me for a long, long time. And then, all right, good, quick. I like that. And he stands up and starts to walk out, and the guy to the left of me works in Huntsville local TV, sort of had flinched like he wanted to ask a question. Yeah. And he stopped and he's like, did you have one before I leave?
Oh, wow.
And the guy's like, yeah, if you don't mind. And he asked him, about what we were just now talking about. And he gave a great answer about he's right up there with one of the best guards I've ever coached. I mean, Derrick Rose
John Wall, STA right now, not necessarily at Kentucky, but what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing for the Oklahoma City Thunder, winning an MVP, winning a championship, dominating again this year. I don't think he's ever going to be that good, but he is fantastic.
In college, he's every bit as good as those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Now, will he have the NBA career that an SGA? I don't know.
Well, there were about 21 NBA scouts sitting in front of me last night who were eating it. Well, they usually jump out. About 8 minutes to go in the game,
beat
10 minutes
traffic,
to go in the
see
game.
what I need to see.
When they've seen what they've seen to, or whatever the amount they need to be there to where their club is not going to fire them.
I wouldn't have left that game last night.
Yeah. And they stayed. They did. They stayed in overtime, LT, to your point. Like I had moved down from my seat to sort of a different seat amongst them so that I could see, because everybody was standing at this point, it was sort of making me part of the court I couldn't see. So I moved down amongst the scouts, and the guy was like, hey, right as this one's about to end, I need to walk right past you. I was standing in the aisle because I'm jumping over that rail, and I got to get out of here before the crowd does.
Oh, that's what the scout said?
Yeah. And I said, no problem. And so I even moved out of his way there, and then he was still there at double overtime. That's how entertaining of a game it was. Those NBA scouts who, I don't know how many games they see a week, they were camped out right there, and none of them left.
Well, I mean, look, everybody likes different styles of football or basketball. That is my style right there. I could watch that style of basketball. For some, it's not enough defense,
But
and
you and I talked last night, though. It's the NBA, but I don't like the NBA.
Yeah, why is that, I wonder? Because I have said that before. This is not the first time this realization has hit me, is that college basketball is very quickly moving to the NBA style, and it's, for me, borderline unwatchable in the NBA. But I very much enjoy watching it in college basketball.
Well, you have a lot of guys now, that aren't playing the minutes. You don't know who's going to be playing. I mean, like
some of it's the crowd.
Morning, the Knicks could be a 2.5 point favorite, and by the time it goes off, they're an 8.5 point underdog.
Because some guys,
guys are sitting.
Veteran rest. But I think some of it's the crowd too. Like, I mean, last night you were there. The crowd's living and dying with every play. In the NBA, half of them are, eating a hot dog and taking selfies, and then the last 2 minutes, everybody gets into the game because it's the NBA. It doesn't matter until the last 2 minutes.
It seemed kind of like the Coleman crowd last night. Was I off on that? It seemed pretty dead.
Slow arriving. It got really good from.
Oh, I mean, hell, it had to, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it got full. I mean, it wasn't 14-5, but it was 12-5. I guarantee you.
They didn't sell out last night.
I don't know if it's sold out or not, but there were some empty seats. But it was a lot of empty seats at the start. And by the first time out, I don't know if they're in the concession line or if they're, stopping by Ash Wednesday and doing religious things and then swinging by. There were a lot of people with ashes on their forehead. But at 6 o'clock, it filled in. I guarantee you it's 12-5, by the time you got to the 10-minute mark of the first half. But, when they come out at 15 minutes left in the pregame clock to do their last come out before they go back and then come out for the final time. The first time they say this is Alabama basketball, there wasn't 1,000 people in there. Yeah. At that point, it was a late arriving crowd.
Well, I mean, to Nate's point, this is your last ranked team, and I think after, I know we'll get to it after last night. We probably agree with him on that one. It's the last ranked team you're going to face at Coleman Coliseum.
I'm trying to help my Auburn fans. I'm trying to do 3 hours of Alabama basketball.
I know, yes.
That is finalized now.
Yeah, trust me, Auburn fans would much rather us talk about Alabama, Arkansas.
Well, let's talk a little Philon and Acuff, what we saw last night, and could it be the best dueling performance ever in that building? And Coleman Coliseum has seen a lot. That's coming up in that. After we remind you, the show today being brought to you by two of our great sponsors. One of them is our friends at CPAP Plus, LT. Tell us about our friends at Sleep Home, Alabama.
Yeah, very important that you're getting quality sleep every single night. If you're not, go see our friends at CPAP Plus and O'Neill Medical. Joe, Woody O'Neill, fantastic guys. 5 locations throughout the state of Alabama, 3 right here in Birmingham, including Pelham, Highway 280, Trussville. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. For more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
And on your way to work or school tomorrow, swing by Bojangles and enjoy those Bo-Berry biscuits. They are heart-shaped now through the weekend, and you can not only enjoy a great Bo-Berry biscuit that is heart-shaped, but you can help a great cause. The Hardest Yard, also the Greg Olson Foundation or the Bojangles Foundation. 10% of sales will go to support those organizations which take great care of heart health and heart research in the communities Bojangles serves, like this community right here. So swing by your local Bojangles, get that heart-shaped Bo-Berry biscuit, enjoy a great breakfast, help a great cause, and always make it bow time.
Okay, first, before the Philon Acuff greatest night in that building for most of people watching us, going into double overtime, Nate Oates had a heart-to-heart with his team, and he saw victory in Arkansas's eyes. He saw Alabama's victory in Arkansas's eyes as they were heading to their bench going to double overtime.
Yeah, what'd you tell the guys going into the second overtime?
I said they're running out of guys and they're running out of steam. I said Acuff hasn't been out of the game yet. I got multiple guys with 4 fouls. Like, we got to run. Like, we should be the more fresh team. I said the best way to run is get stops. We got to get stops and we got to run. And we are not turning this into a walk-it-up game. Not sure how much we were able to get out in transition in the second half, but I just kept trying to encourage. I mean, they could get a little deflated, particularly at the end of regulation. We give up that 3 we shouldn't have gave up. into overtime. I mean, there's some tough plays. You know, we didn't score. We didn't have a very good possession there. We had the ball tied. Had a bad possession. Hindsight, probably should have called timeout when it wasn't going well. You know, there's plenty of stuff I messed up in the game. I got to take ownership, and we got to look at it as a staff. But just encourage them. Look, we got the stop. We're good. We're going to second overtime. We're the deeper, more fresh team. You know, we kind of took Houston out, put Holloway in. Thought he'd be a little more fresh, and he made some big plays for us. So we used our depth tonight, I thought, pretty well.
And that was that ends up being the difference, because it only took one missed shot or one missed possession in double overtime for it to happen. But, you know, I'm sure this happens everywhere in college basketball. Everybody has a song you play when somebody fouls out. And you just don't see a lot of foul outs in college basketball anyway. But, you know, one time you get the hit the road, Jack, and everybody's singing along and they wave, hit the road, Jack. And then another Arkansas guy's fouled out and everybody's like, hit the road, Jack. And then the third time it's like, hit the road. I mean, there was so many old hats. I mean, there's so many.
I don't know if I've seen.
You need multiple foul outs on.
We didn't know we'd have so many balls.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know if I've ever seen 4 on one team in college basketball. And I know it went a full 50 minutes last night. But we're not also, look, as good as Philon was, and everybody's talking about Philon and Acuff, Aiden Sherrill, and there were a couple of possessions he didn't know what to do with the basketball right under the basket. But the game he had, the game Amari Allen had, both double-doubles, those were huge nights for Alabama.
And for Sherrill, I mean, he lugged that big body up and down. He played over 40 minutes last night.
39 minutes.
Yeah, to Oates' point, they knew the path to victory was to keep pace going because, again, Arkansas, by their own fault, is short-benched. So especially when guys start fouling out, you know, guys are going to have to stay on the floor, so the more you can work their legs, the better. Boy, just some bad – the end of regulation and the end of the first overtime, just awful offensive possessions by Alabama. One of them a shot clock violation. How do you get a shot clock violation in your final offensive possession? I mean, that's inexcusable. Yeah. I mean, and Nate Oates took ownership of it right there, not calling the timeout. Nate is so interesting with those timeouts. He's like Nick Saban. Saban would never use those end of the first half timeouts. But he'd go to the locker room holding timeouts more than any coach in America.
The only thing he's consistent about, it was a 13-0 run from Arkansas. He doesn't like calling a timeout to stop a run.
He will not do it.
He's said it many times. I'm not going to call a timeout to tell him to play harder. That's his belief system.
No, it is, and he's consistent with it. You got to give him credit.
But he's not afraid to challenge something and lose a timeout in the first 2 minutes of a game.
Nope, he'll do that too.
And so he's very. It's not something I've got to have timeouts at the end. He's not afraid to challenge something in the first 2 minutes and use a timeout as well. Now to Philon and Acuff. I mean, Acuff with 49. I think Malik Thomas had a big game too for them.
Oh, he did. He had 24.
But then Philon with 35. And these, Philon's already been to the draft combine and has come back to play another year. And Acuff is going to be a lottery pick. Here's Nate Oates on the Philon-Acuff matchup from where he was sitting.
I didn't want him thinking he needed to outscore Acuff. We needed to think about what it took to win the game. His defense on Acuff, his playmaking ability. Barron ends up with 7 assists. Acuff played well, obviously, with 49, but, he had 5 assists. Barron had 7. So I think there was things, and obviously it got to the end, and they were both scoring a lot, and we didn't do a very good job on him at all for most of the game. I just, when he plays these other really good guards, we need to get to win. That's it. His version of outplaying them needs to be better defense, better leadership, better ball movement, better floor leadership, all that. And I thought he was pretty good at a lot of that tonight. So, Acuff won the scoring deal. We got the win. That's what I told him. Like, if Acuff wins the scoring, we get the win. Great job. I thought he did a pretty good job. A lot of that stuff.
Going back to the Auburn game, and I know we'll get to Auburn in a little bit, the Auburn-Arkansas game, Richmond and Acuff were 22 of 30. When you look at the starting guards last night, you mentioned Malik Thomas. Richmond, Acuff, 34 of 59 on the road.
Wow.
And that's pretty damn good shooting.
It is. Yeah. You see the celebration of the Alabama players afterwards, a big win for the Tide, and Philon going over to the student section afterwards, they're celebrating it. This does a lot for this team down the stretch, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, 5 consecutive wins now for Alabama, and when you looked at those, and we talked to Ron Slay about this yesterday, it was 4 consecutive wins, which is great in conference, but it wasn't any wow wins. that was a game you should have won because it was at home, but the way that thing played out, down 14, coming back, winning that game in double overtime, to have your 5th consecutive win in conference, that was a wow win.
Now, I know Coleman Coliseum only holds a certain number of fans. And much like the Archie Manning game at Legion Field in 1969, I think it was, Ole Miss and Scott Hunter, national TV, Alabama, Ole Miss, there's about 5 million people who said they were at that game. There was a game like that at Coleman Coliseum in its early days, the Pete Maravich days. And, you know, in my head, I was a little bitty boy in the stands. Probably in reality, I wasn't there. But in my head, I think I was there.
So you think you were there?
In my head, I think I was there.
So you really don't know.
But I don't remember.
But your father has passed, so there's no way to confirm that. Because
I did go to a game, I remember, at Coleman Coliseum. And because I remember the old cinder blocks on the basket.
You've told that before. That's what weighted down the basket was cinder blocks.
They had old just gray cinder blocks and nothing.
Right.
But people last night who were old enough to have been there, who have supported Alabama basketball for years and years and years, or were kids back then or now supporting Alabama basketball, that's what they were talking about last night. Best performance I've seen here since Pete Maravich. I know that sort of hit home with you, Brownie. You sort of were feeling the same thing watching from afar.
Just watching it as it went to overtime, I sent that out on social media just to see the response I would get because I thought I would get some of that. Like, well, Brownie, you're forgetting this game. You're forgetting this game. You're forgetting this game. And I got very little of that. I think most everyone agreed, like, the line to beat is Pistol Pete, 69 points at Coleman Coliseum. I believe in regulation. I don't even think that was an overtime win for Alabama. I think that was in regulation.
One thing for sure, there was no three-point line.
Yeah, I mean, he scored 69 without a three-point line.
Yeah, what did they say? It would have been 80 plus.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen actually what his career stats are. They've estimated with a three-point line. It's insane.
Yeah.
And I sent that out thinking, you know, I've obviously forgotten a performance that somebody will point out. And there were a couple, but none of them measured up to what Acuff did last night. I think you can safely say the greatest opponent performance in Coleman Coliseum history was Pete Maravich. The second best was last night with Darius Acuff. And, I mean, when you start putting him in that category, because that is a game growing up in this state, I know all three of us, whether you were there or not, Jim, all three of us have heard that game talked about in reverent tones before because of what Maravich was able to do and the fact that Alabama actually won the game by 2, much like last night. And I just wonder if Pete Maravich became kind of a bigger-than-life individual, I guess, and then his life was taken way too early. I do wonder, like, 20 years from now, if people will say, oh, I was at that game, that Darius Acuff game.
I mean, Acuff's going to have to do a little bit more.
He is. Maravich didn't do a ton in the NBA, did he?
He didn't, but he's an iconic figure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He became larger than life.
He had that long college career. I mean, look, I'm looking at it right here. Not only did he score the 69 against Alabama, other games against Alabama had 58 and 55 in 2 previous meetings.
CM Newton could not stop him.
No, apparently not.
CM needed to work on defense.
Was that CM's team
69? I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong.
Was that also 1969?
68 he had 58, 69 he had 55, and then he had the 69 in 70.
Like Brian says, my dad talked about him all the time, Pistol Pete. My dad did too, or still does. My dad still
did too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that saw Pistol Pete play, and Acuff is not Pistol Pete. I mean, Pistol Pete is rare air, obviously. But, boy, that game last night, I think if you're an Alabama fan walking out of there, you are so thrilled you won, and you absolutely have to tip your hat and say, that's as good as I've seen anybody do against us.
And, by the way, Pistol Pete in today's basketball would kill it.
Oh, he would destroy it, yes. Could shoot from outside.
Yeah, his handle. It was a big man's game back then.
But I don't think Alabama's a particularly good defensive team, obviously, and we get argued with all the time in the chat. People throw stats out. Stats say something, and eyeballs say something. I watch Alabama play defense. Nate Oates watches Alabama play defense, and Nate Oates does not seem real happy with his defense. Their defense isn't particularly good, but what Acuff did last night, I think you could be playing good defensive teams, and he still does that.
Yeah, I mean, he
was just that good.
Shots.
Yeah.
If you miss a half step and you don't have him covered up, he hits open shots like it's knife through butter. Brooks sent out a graphic last night of the Acuff Philon comparison. Their combined 84 points, the most between 2 players in an SEC game in over 20 years. And you just LT was naming some of the talent that just played for Cal in
I
the
know.
SEC in the last 20 years. So those two last night, the most combined between two players in an SEC game in over 2 decades. That's what you saw in Tuscaloosa last night. One more thing on that game, and we'll get to Auburn in segment number 2 coming up. After LT tells us about our friends at Hoover Toyota, where Toyota is still celebrating their big week of winning down at the World Center of Speed, the Daytona 500, and we're still contemplating racing across America in a Toyota.
Look, and they've got something for everyone. Whether you're in the market yourself, you've got a daughter or a son, first driver out there. I mentioned the fact Christmas of 2024, I got late in that new RAV. She absolutely loves it. I wanted reliability. I wanted safety. I wanted something that would hold its value. That's when I went in and I met Harold, Scott, all the fine folks at Hoover Toyota. They are servicing Birmingham, Alabaster, and Vestavia. Their inventory offers fantastic selection, and their on-site finance department provides affordable financing options. Even after the keys to your new vehicle are in your hands, they are there to serve you with the service and parts department, committed to keeping you a customer for life. That's what they want to do. They're going to roll the red carpet out for you. It gives you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience with a referral program. Stop by Highway 150. Tell them the next round sent you, or view their inventory and great pricing. HooverToyota.com.
$2 billion of anything is a lot, right? $2 billion, that's a ton, and that is what Alexander Shinara has claimed for his clients over the years. 25 years, right here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's where he was born. It's where he grew up. And he said, you know what, that's where I'm going to start my firm, and I'm going to keep it there. In that time, it has grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. That's what you get with Alexander Shinara. How have you recovered $2 billion? You're good at what you do, but you also got to have some core values, right? He's got those: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
Okay, so, I watch a game like this from my roots, an Alabama perspective. So I see things differently. Like, there's a continuation play that happens at one end of the floor that counts for Arkansas, doesn't count for Alabama. There's a both reviewed goaltending call that look like identical plays that is goaltending and not goaltending, and it doesn't go Alabama's way. I see Aiden Holloway get called for a foul on Acuff for 3 free throws that were crucial in regulation.
I don't think he touched him.
And I'm not sure Holloway touched him.
Yeah. If he did, he didn't touch him enough for Acuff to fall to the floor.
So I watched that game, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, Alabama didn't get any calls in this game on their home floor, that every crucial call went against Alabama.
When 4 guys fouled out on the other team.
And then John Calipari walks in, and I'm sitting here thinking, man, Alabama on their home floor it was Alabama 5 on 8, it felt like at times.
Well,
Meanwhile, John Calipari saw it totally different than me.
In a game like that goes that long, the foul trouble kind of piles up on you. I guess just how did that make things difficult, especially overtime, double overtime?
It makes it hard. I don't want to talk about the fouls and all that because I don't want to get in trouble. Give Alabama credit. They fought till the very end. Give my team credit. They fought. I told them after, I'm proud of you. Fought. Never gave up. We had a chance right down to the end.
He went on to start looking at the stat sheets, and he was like, we made more threes than they did. We did this. We did that. We had fewer. We didn't have 10 turnovers. We had 8 single-digit turnovers. All these stats.
Did he get to the free throws?
And he was like, and we lost. And then he free throws.
Yeah.
He goes, what? So what was the difference? How did we lose? And then he stopped.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to get fined.
Yeah. Here, so it'll get fined.
But
19 to 34, by the way.
Well, it was. But, when
some of that
Acuff's not driving.
That's it. I mean,
he's shooting.
And look, and they had a 14-point lead. You blew a 14 second half point lead.
That's right. And when you're up 14 in the second half and Alabama goes on a 17-2 run and you don't defensively come up with something that stops Alabama from driving into the lane and making contact and drawing those fouls and going to the free throw line, I don't think it was bad officiating against Arkansas. It was what Alabama was doing that made Arkansas foul them. They couldn't stay in front of them, keeping them from driving the lane. I didn't think it was a great officiated game. I mean, there were some, like, I go to another one. Sherrill got his feet. I mean, it was like Karate Kid. They swiped the leg on him, and he got called for traveling as he fell to the floor. It was a leg swipe. Swipe the leg. Calipari said, swipe the leg from his bench over there.
Sweep
the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Swipe.
Sweep the leg. I don't
Swiper
know.
don't swipe.
Basketball's funny, man. You sit and
Yeah,
watch
no,
the
it
same
is.
game and you see it differently.
And Arkansas fans in our next round live mentions, they're saying the same thing. Doug Schall's game MVP.
I know
things
we're
like
going to
that.
get to Auburn in the second segment.
Next segment, yeah.
But to me, the way that played out was crazier than what happened in Coleman.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah.
We go to Starkville in what was a game you can't lose that Auburn lost coming up in our next segment. Alabama, a winner over Arkansas, 117-115. Clay's on the show to start hour number 2. We're 191 away from college football, but one thing's always consistent on a Thursday is we're able to tell you what was the question last night at Odie's.
Which came first, Michael Jordan or Mountain Brook High School?
Michael B. Jordan or Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
Or Mountain Brook High School?
I will never compare the two.
Or Mountain Brook High School?
Yeah.
Mountain Brook High School.
You got to remember Odie's, Crestline, big, Mountain Brook route.
I'm going to say easy. It is the GOAT Michael Jordan. I don't think they started Mountain Brook High School until...
Now he's going to be like, oh, well.
No, wait a minute.
I'm going to say they didn't start Mountain Brook High School until the 60s.
How old do you think Jordan is?
I think Jordan is he not born in like 62?
Well, that's the 60s.
Yeah, I'm going to say a little after that for Mountain Brook.
Michael Jordan celebrated birthday number 63 just a couple of days ago. So born in 1963. Mountain Brook High School opened their doors in 1966. Very, very close. Little things you learn at OD's Team Trivia. We do it every Wednesday night, typically around 8 o'clock. Last night it was around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you get a few double overtimes every now and again.
Great crowd. The food, always fantastic from Rodney Davis. Been doing it about 4 decades. The ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. The incredible staff. Get in, see Will Haver and that staff. 2 locations. The original Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
English Village. When they made that's in Mountain Brook, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. When that became English Village, Mountain Brook still, I don't think it was an official city yet.
Are you serious? I did not know Mountain Brook had these young of a roots. I thought it
Yeah,
went.
so the people that lived in Mountain Brook typically went to Shades Valley because the old Shades Valley High School was right off of Highway 31,
Where
right
the
there in
zoo is.
Homewood.
Where the zoo is.
Behind the zoo.
Yeah, right by the zoo.
Okay.
So, not that I was around for any of this, but I think Mountain Brook becoming a city was later than you would expect.
Well, absolutely later than I would have expected.
I mean,
It was a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
But, Homewood High School was 1972, I think.
Oh,
Really?
after
Yeah.
that.
Where did Homewood kids go?
Shades Valley.
Wow, Shades Valley must have been a power back then.
It was.
I would imagine.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, we talk a little Auburn basketball. The show today being brought to you by our wonderful friends at New York Butcher Shop, LT. Whether his voice is working or not, he will always make sure that the folks behind the counter at New York Butcher are working.
Yeah, I will be picking up steaks from me and Jack Taylor tomorrow from the fresh meats. Those sides made in-house. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. It really is a one-stop dinner shop. Also, the deli sandwiches. If you want to stop in for lunch or dinner, take those home. Rare quality, well-done service. Great staff of butchers. Get into either location. The original in Cabo Heights, newest location, Highway 119 in Greystone. Again, stop in, see Jim and the fine folks. Tell them the next round sent you. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Was it the worst loss in the Pearl era, not just Steven? Factor in Bruce after LT tells us about Kalshi and positions you can take. I've already taken one for golf, and did I do hockey? No. Women's hockey
talked
today.
about it.
USA and Canada, the Americans are too big of a favorite in that one.
Okay, so Canada's down with 3.5 minutes. We're getting off the show yesterday. I tell Brown, take a position on Kalshi right now.
Yeah, he did. He said
Canada's going to take this to overtime. They're going to win this game.
So I take Canada to win. And like 30 seconds later, a goal scored by Canada.
And what do you do at Kalshi?
I cash out my position, which is something that is unique to Kalshi. And I was able to turn a very quick profit on my position there at Kalshi during the game. I didn't have to wait for the game to end.
Instead of going to overtime and rolling the dice on a one-shot situation,
Yep.
you cash out early. Last night at halftime, I tell Brown, Alabama is a really good second-half play. Now, it didn't look like it when Arkansas comes out the gate and they're up 14.
I did not like it at that point, but I had already taken the money Lance had made me on Canada hockey and taken another position at Kalshi. paid off in the long run. Had Alabama plus 6.5. Never had to sweat it. Dunaway. Alabama plus 6.5.
Sounds like you should be LT's friend. Is a way to enjoy Calci. I had Auburn last night.
But I mean, the fun thing about it is, back in the traditional days, you'd call up and you'd be like, give me Alabama or Auburn, and you had to do it before the game.
Yeah, sorry, game's already tipped.
Then we really started to move forward, and we started having halftime plays. Well, at Calci, you can play at any point, any game, not only sports, also politics, pop culture. It is now illegally available to trade in all 50 states, Brown.
Yeah, legally.
Legally. It is
What did I say?
legally. Yes,
Illegally?
you
Sorry.
did. It is legally. It is legal in all 50 states. You can take your positions on Calci, and as Lance said, trade on anything, and we're helping you with code TNR. TNR. That gets you $10 on your first $10 position. You get a $10 bonus you can play with right away there at Calci. Code TNR. As Dunaway said, everything from women's hockey to golf to politics to economics to climate to crypto to pop culture. You can play it all right there at Calci.
What the number one song is going to be on February 28th.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that this morning for some reason, that you had a position there. Calci.com or the Calci app. Code TNR. Look, it's got a Supreme Court issue. Will Paramount acquire Warner Brothers? You can play all those things at Calci. Code TNR at Calci.com or the Calci app.
Yeah. This is from Stephen Pearl last night. A different soundbite here in a second, but he says that was probably the worst loss I've ever been a part of at Auburn. So
definitely the worst loss in Stevens' tenure.
Yeah, but you go back. He when Bruce came to Auburn, Stephen was on his bench, so he's been at Auburn through all of Bruce Pearl, and then through his year of coaching, and that was probably the worst loss I've ever been a part of at Auburn. And remember that Yale loss in the NCAA tournament. Now, that one mattered more.
It's the most painful, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the loss to Virginia would be the most painful.
That team they were talented enough to not only go to a Final Four, but possibly win a national championship, and you lose in round one to an Ivy League school, a good Yale team.
There's difference in a painful loss and a bad loss.
That's right.
That's a painful loss.
So not to throw Mississippi State under the bus, I think what Stephen is saying is that we are better than that Mississippi State team. I'm probably better than Yale, but Yale was good. Virginia and Auburn, you're playing in the Final Four of these heartbreaking losses in the
team
Pearl
that won
era.
a national championship. Last night, look, there's a lot of reasons that it's made it really, really bad. Obviously, Auburn is fighting for their tournament lives now. But when you get down 18, and at that point, the win probability for Mississippi State with 18:25 left in that game was 94.5%. Then it completely flips. Auburn goes on a 17-1 run. I feel very comfortable saying that Alabama and Auburn on the same night have never had a 17-2 and a 17-1 run.
I would say that too. Yes.
But they come back, and not only do they take the lead, they go up by 7. And at that point, with 3:56 left in the game, Auburn up 7, they have almost a 90% win probability. So to exert all the energy in a game that you had to have to not only come back from 18 down, to go up 7, where you saw Stephen on the side so pumped up, because at that point, Auburn's not losing that game, but then you go on and lose the game. That was insane, and you just wonder not only mentally what it does, but physically for that team to exert all of that energy.
Josh Hubbard scores 46, 35 in the first half. The most points in the first half since Luca Garza scored 35 in 2020.
Yeah, a guy that won the Wooden Award for Iowa just a couple of years ago. He outscored Auburn by himself. 35 for Hubbard in the first half. Auburn had 33 at the break.
Yeah. 35. And I think, what was he, 9 of 13 from beyond the arc, I believe?
9 of 12.
9 of 12 by himself in the first half.
And I told Brown, I was like, I bet he is peeling paint. Stephen Pearl.
Stephen, it had to be.
He talked about, hey, these guards got to be salivating, especially Hubbard. He's such a good guard. He scored 30-plus in consecutive games. Our guard defense has not been good, going back to Richmond and Acuff going 22 of 30 on Saturday. I guarantee at halftime he's like, I don't care what happens. That sumbitch ain't getting more points on us. And they did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
in the
they actually limited him pretty well to keep him
Yeah.
at 45.
Most of those points came at the free throw line.
Yeah.
His 11 in the second half. I think he hit 1 3 and then the free throw line. Here's Stephen just devastated afterwards about the mood right now in the Auburn locker room as they were getting ready to leave Starkville.
What's the mood in the locker room around just trying to get back into the win column right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. Everybody's obviously disappointed in the result. But, you know, if we can draw from those 15 minutes in the second half that we played really well, you know, we can do something with it. But if we continue to get off to slow starts, we're not going to win any games. So we got to make a decision on how we're going to start games. And, you know, we can't wait until we're down 18 to start playing desperate. We got to play desperate with 0-0.
And that's the only soundbite you'll hear from Stephen Pearl because of the kids in the background. That's the audio from Starkville. So we wanted to get that sound on there, but we apologize for not having 3 or 4 more bites from
I've
that
got
news
a
conference.
feeling the way this Auburn team is playing that we're going to get to Nashville and we're going to be like, there's work to be done. They've got to win a game or 2 games.
Well, I mean, to your point, it's a 5-game losing skid, as everybody is aware of.
Which is the longest in 10 years.
Again, there's going to be a lot of discussion about the quote-unquote Pearls era, and you can make an argument this is the worst loss there, but a 5-game losing skid is very uncommon in this era of Auburn basketball.
Digestible against Tennessee on the road, against Alabama in that rivalry, even against a Vanderbilt, obviously Arkansas on the road, but Mississippi State where you're a 5.5-point favorite. And to be shell-shocked in the first half the way they were, but to come back and to play the way Stephen talked about in those 15 minutes and to take a 7-point lead, I really don't know how they still lost that game.
I don't either. You almost would rather get blown out, hadn't you?
Well, the defense went away at the end like it was for the first half. State hit 5 of 6 field goals and all 6 free throws in the final 3 minutes and something from that moment you talked about, the final 3:57. They didn't miss. They were 5 of 6 field goals and 6 free throws. So you ended up not doing what you did to get back into the game. You didn't do it for the final 3 minutes and 57 seconds.
Well, and you prove a point with Keyshawn against Arkansas, sitting him. He comes back, and he was freaking good, 29 and 10.
Double-double, yeah. And played 40 minutes, by the way. I mean, Stephen Pearl made a point there. Like, if you're going to come back and play, show me what you got. And he played 40 minutes to his credit and had a double-double.
So is 3 and 2 in these final 5 good enough?
Okay, they've got 3 quad 1 games.
Yeah.
So quad 1 at home Saturday against Kentucky, quad 1 at Oklahoma, which is amazing. That's quad 1.
How is that still a quad 1?
Yeah, they're 3 and 10 in the SEC, but
top 75.
As we were sitting here right now, that was a quad 1 game, and then quad 1
that's a quad 1 that has no chance of going to the tournament.
Right, and quad 1 at Alabama. So 3 Q1s as we sit right now left on the schedule.
So
there's no way you said you can't lose to Mississippi State. There's no way you can lose to LSU or Ole Miss.
Well, okay, but let's just say you win those games. Let's say you lose to Kentucky and Alabama, and you beat Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and LSU.
So that's 2 more wins and 3 more losses, or 3 more wins and 2 more losses.
So you're 17 and 14, but you didn't get any of those quad 1s.
Yeah, and then your conference. I mean, I guess conference record matters.
You've got 4 quad 1s before. You've got the 4th most difficult schedule in college basketball.
It's an 8 and 10 conference record, and you're 17 and 14.
That's good enough to get in.
Probably.
But what happens now is you went because of all the work you've done pre-conference. Now you're on a 5-game losing streak, and I know we don't count the last 10 games like we used to, but the people in the room are humans. And I know they look at a lot of graphics, the Torviks and the Ken Palms and the Nets and all that, but they're still humans. And at least what has happened now is the conversation has flipped to real basketball people that'll be in the room having the conversation about, okay, does Auburn deserve to be in or not? That wasn't part of the conversation when people in the media like us were saying it 2 weeks ago, like, this Auburn team, are they a tournament team or not? But now the basketball people are letting it in their heads, does this team deserve to be in or not?
Well, and another angle that you will get, I'm just assuming for that committee, if Auburn continues to struggle, Bruce Pearl, you would get the benefit of the doubt. Fair or unfair to Stephen, he's not Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, we're talking about humans here, to Jim's point.
You look at a team, they've got similar resumes, but one's got a Hall of Fame coach and one has got, just an average coach. You probably lean the Hall of Fame coach. Stephen's not going to get that benefit of the doubt his first year.
It's weird. They are the possessor of the single best win this year in the SEC.
Maybe in the country.
I was going to say that. Maybe in the country. Creighton's last night is pretty good at UConn.
Creighton's not a tournament team, though.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. You're right.
Yeah.
It was a good win, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess I should say then, of tournament teams, they are a possessor of maybe the best win in the country. Certainly the best win in the SEC. I cannot argue that. Winning at Florida.
The SEC, I don't think the country.
I mean, it's in the discussion. But again, it's not you're not going to make this a one-game discussion, but I am saying if you're looking for check marks in both columns, that's certainly a check mark in Auburn's favor.
I guess what I should say is of the bubble teams, when you're sitting here deciding, okay, who's going to be in, who's going to be out, Auburn's win at Florida is going to probably be better than anybody else that they're being judged by.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, of their neighborhood, they've got the best house. But, I mean, I'm with you guys. I think as long as you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, which would be Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU, even if you lose to the teams that maybe you're not supposed to beat, Kentucky and Alabama, although you could argue Kentucky, I think you're okay. I think you're okay even regardless of what happens in Nashville. I personally think that the committee has shown you we put more emphasis on conference tournaments than the committee puts on conference tournaments.
But what LT is saying is, okay, now you're 3-2 and you go to Nashville. You don't have the double bye.
Nope.
You may not have a bye. I guess you have a bye.
They won't play on that first night.
Yeah,
They're not going to get that
first
bad.
night, but you're going to be playing a pretty bad team in your first game in Nashville.
So how does that help you? It just gives you another win.
It could really hurt you.
It doesn't help you, but it could be the one that decides, ooh, that's another bad loss.
That's right.
Let's play the flip side.
That just confirms what I had already thought about them.
Let's play the flip side of the coin, though. Let's say that they lose Kentucky, Alabama, and they lose one of those three in between.
Those are bad losses. I know Oklahoma's a quad one game, but that's quad one by title only.
Yeah, but then you're, 7-11 in conference, and you're 15 or 16 and 15 overall.
That's a hard sell right there.
But again, when you get it is a hard sell, but I remember Mark Godfrey's team. Were they not 17 and 15, 17 and 14 one year?
Played like Auburn, the number one schedule. I don't know that it was actually number one that year, but it felt like it.
And then they got in. And then you sit there and you go, okay, what are these teams that were being judged around to get in the tournament? What do they have on their resume and what do they don't have? And then when you start going, win at Florida, win against St. John, there's another big win, NC State, which is looking like a good win. There's some good wins that you look even better that you've already got on your resume. That's going to be stuff Auburn has that other teams that they're going to be judged by. The Missouris and the Texases won't have, though Texas would have a...
Well, and 7-11's not going to be unprecedented to get in the tournament. You go back to last year, and I don't remember what Oklahoma and Texas did against quad ones and what the out-of-conference looked like, but they were both 6-12 in conference, and they both got in.
If you don't play the number one schedule in the country, you're not a 17-win team. But if you're going to be a 17-win team, it's best to have the number one schedule in the country.
That's right, and that's the trade-off. And I think Stephen and Auburn knew that when they put together. I mean, thank you, Bruce.
I think Bruce at Auburn.
Thanks, Dad. You put together the toughest schedule in Auburn basketball history, and then you walk out and leave me the keys to the car. It's a great first job, but
tough way to start it.
To your point, though, I mean, LSU could end up with 17 wins this year, but they're not even close to sniffing the tournament at 2-11 in conference.
That's right, because 2-11 in conference and right now, and then their schedule.
Not all 17 wins look the same. Amazing night from Josh Hubbard, who took the game personally. You could see him afterwards talking smack. You don't leave state talking to Keyshawn Murphy, who was at Mississippi State last year but portaled to Auburn, one of the 10 new players on that roster down at Auburn. They get Kentucky at home 7:30 Saturday night, and we'll see what happens from there. Last night in the SEC, before we do the viewing menu, Missouri beats Vandy. Second time that Vandy has trailed a lot, then came back. And to lose by one happened to against Oklahoma the other day. I don't know if you saw the highlight, though. Inbound pass, it's 81-80. Missouri throws it. Tyler Tanner intercepts it at midcourt with 1.9 and heaves it, and it does everything but go in.
It was just so careless right there. It's like, game's over. All we got to do is get it inbounded. No, you need your guy to catch it at least.
Would have been a terrible loss for Dennis Gaines.
What an awful way to end a game.
It wasn't Butler Final Four close, but it was pretty darn close. Everything but going in. Texas A&M Bucky broke the losing streak. They beat Ole Miss.
Boy, you got fortunate to get out with that win.
And A&M's a team that is going to be down on the bubble. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
12-2 run in the final 4 minutes, and then Tennessee demolished Oklahoma 89-66. That's the SEC last night. UAB beats Temple on the road in Philly 76-71. UAB now has 8 straight road wins. They're 7-0 on the road in conference play. They're 1-6 at home in conference play.
Makes no sense.
Yeah,
it's just
figure that one out.
Backwards. But good news is they're on the road at Memphis, 11 a.m. on Sunday. So an opportunity to get another road win for Andy and the guys there. All right. Before the viewing menu, I'll tell you about our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Great folks there at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's Greg from Pell City. He and his wife, Andrea, they love you. They love their community. They've raised their 10 kids in this community, and they want to help you out. Here's how they're helping you out. First, they give you a free, no-cost roof inspection. Absolutely free. Greg will get on your roof and check everything out for you. Do you have 3 years, 5 years left on your roof before it ages out? Do you need a new roof right now? Is there a loose shingle up there he can repair? Maybe some cracks around some pipe fittings or something? He gives it a survey. You may not even know the last time you had your roof inspected. He does it for free for you. 205-542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. A-plus rated, locally owned for over 20 years, not some outsider, locally owned. That matters because he's got roots in the community. He wants to work with you for the rest of your life, the rest of his life. His kids are taking over the company, the rest of their lives. They want to be your roofing company. 205-542-3531. Financing, some soft wash program to make your roof look better, take away some staining. He has it all for you. Call him before you make an insurance claim. 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City. And also Michelson, they bring you the viewing menu.
Yeah, if you wear the contacts or the glasses, you owe it to yourself to make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, back in 2003. Got the procedure done. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision. Better than 2020. I've still got it. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jim Michelson, best in the business. Very important when you call 205-969-8100. As for Amy, tell her the next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Oh, do your bangs again like you just did on camera. Can you give me, look in the camera, do what you just did with your bangs.
Tyler getting ready for his live shot.
I mean, you knew you were about to be on camera. You had to get the hair the way you like.
It was in my face.
Okay. Right. Get that salad good.
Something I haven't worried about in a long time.
All right, so tonight the new release is How to Make a Killing, starring Glenn Powell, Margaret Qualley, Ed Harris, and Topher Grace. I got to catch it Monday at the unreleased screening. Disowned at birth by his obscenely wealthy family, blue-collar Beckett Redfellow will stop at nothing to reclaim his inheritance, no matter how many relatives stand in his way. I think this is a really solid movie. It's funny when it needs to be, there's action when there needs to be, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not a movie that I'm going to be calling one of the greatest of the year when it comes December, but it's definitely a fun night out if you're looking for that.
What more can you ask for from a movie? Everything doesn't have to be an Oscar, right?
Yeah, it's
fun
not
night
gonna
out.
be one that sticks with me for a long time, but it's a good time. Next up, we got a new horror movie, Psycho Killer. A highway patrol officer sets out to find the man responsible for the brutal murder of her husband. Her quest leads her to a sadistic serial killer whose mental depravity and sinister agenda is more twisted than anyone could have ever imagined. And it's written by Andrew Kevin Walker. And if you're wondering, why should I care that some dude with 3 first names wrote this? It's this guy who wrote Seven, one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh, that is a good movie.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Also wrote 8mm, directed by Joel Schumacher.
Not as good.
Not as good as Seven, but it's underrated.
He likes numbers in his titles.
Still good.
Tony Soprano plays a creep.
Yes. Joaquin Phoenix is a weird character in that. And then next up on viewing menu, I've got 2 picks for Scott because he's looking to get some value out of Peacock. So these are Peacock exclusive movies.
I'm running out of time, too.
All right, let's see which one interests you. We got Challengers. This came out last year. Tashi, a former tennis prodigy turned coach, transformed her husband into a champion. But to overcome a recent losing streak and redeem herself, he'll need to face off against his former best friend and Tashi's ex-boyfriend. It's a tennis love triangle starring Zendaya, and the cinematography is excellent, and it's more interesting than you would think off of the face value description.
Okay.
It'll have to be.
I would agree. Hey, no thanks.
No, I was...
the cinematography, is that good?
It's fantastic,
during
I'm sure.
The tennis matches, it's incredible.
Okay.
Incredible. I walked into this kind of on the fence thinking like, I'm not really going to care about a tennis love story, and then walked out calling it one of the best movies of the year.
Okay.
What's the name of it? Threesome?
Challengers, but that happens.
Whoa, what?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, you knew that was in there?
I've seen the trailer.
It was in all of the marketing.
Okay, I got you.
Yep.
So have you watched it?
I have not watched it. I just knew that I'd seen the trailer, and I was like, that's all they play up in the trailer.
Oh,
So,
really?
Jeeves,
They were really
you
playing
are
that up.
going to be somebody's dream to date because any girl can suggest any movie and you'll go see it.
Pretty much, yeah. I've seen some terrible movies.
But then you're going to bitch about it afterwards. You're going to be like,
Yeah,
That's
awful.
true. That's
well, the
true. I might
cinematography
drive
was
them away
horrible.
after the first date if it's only mediocre.
No. I'm here to tell you, you can find love in the world, even if you bitch about things afterwards. I've been married 27 years.
Finally, on viewing menu, another Peacock pick, American Fiction. A novelist who's fed up with the establishment profiting from black entertainment uses a pen name to write a book that propels him into the heart of hypocrisy and madness he claims to disdain, and it stars Jeffrey Wright. This is very well written.
I've seen that. That's actually a good flick.
Sterling K. Brown was
You
up
told
for
me to
Best
watch
Supporting.
it. Yeah.
We watched it. This is sad. Brooks was there. I got you guys and Aaron Suttles. I got you guys to watch it. That's what we did.
That's where I saw it. I was with you.
On New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that was a good flick.
Yeah, I've seen it 4 or 5 times.
Jeffrey Wright's very funny in it.
It's one of the best films over the last 5 years.
He gets so put out. Yeah. That's a good flick, Scott. Watch that one on Peacock.
Might give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot.
it's
I
great.
think you'll like it. Yeah.
All right, that's all I got for today.
All right, Clay Travis on the Other Side show, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
That's right. You can make a bow time at Bojangles on your way into school or work tomorrow. Those heart-shaped Bowberry biscuits there for you. 10% of sales go right to the Heart is Yard, the Greg Olson Foundation, and the Bojangles Foundation to help heart health research in the areas that Bojangles serves. So it's a great way to start your day with a Bowberry biscuit. As always, these heart-shaped ones are fun now through the weekend at your local Bojangles, where you can always make it bow time.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, don't forget double-digit locations of urology centers of Alabama here. 305 team members, 35 physicians, and no madness this March. You can go ahead and book that vasectomy right now and enjoy the brackets. But everything from prostate health to kidney stones, they'll handle testosterone for you. They've got it all covered for you for over 70 years of compassionate care. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com.
All right, Clay Travis is the founder of Outkick. He is also on Fox. He normally joins us every Tuesday, but Clay had a previous engagement, so we've moved it to Thursday this week. Welcome in, Clay. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. Clay appears on the Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys Hotline. I don't know. Obviously, it didn't involve a school that you're close to. I don't know how much of the Bama-Arkansas game you were able to watch, but I know you've seen Darius Acuff play. He was incredible last night. He's probably your SEC Player of the Year. There are discussions that some are having around him that he might be the best college guard Calipari's had, and that is a mouthful there. But this Acuff kid can flat out play. He's one of the best SEC players we've seen in a while.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And I mean, I think the way that I would say it is he may be the best freshman guard as a scorer that John Calipari's ever had, because I can't think of, John Calipari's had a lot of really good freshman guards, but I don't know that anybody's been able to score like this kid can. I watched some of that game. I was traveling, so I was watching it on my phone. But I watched some of that game, and look, Florida is clearly the best team in the SEC. I don't think anybody can argue that at this point in time, and they may be good enough to contend for a national title again, even without Walter Clayton Jr., which I don't think anybody would have necessarily anticipated, but they're rounding into shape in a way that they're clearly the best. And then I think there's about 4 or 5 teams that on any given night could argue that they are the second best team in the league, whether it's Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Vanderbilt. You go through that roster of sort of next teams down, and we'll see how the season plays out. But I think it's Florida and then a cluster of 4 or 5 that can argue that the second best team.
Just because we're talking Acuff and his potential earning moving forward, he's going to be a lottery guy. If you could represent one athlete or actor moving forward for the rest of their career, who would it be?
Well, you have to go young. So I think actor is hard to do because, really you'd want to get on board with Leonardo DiCaprio when he was, just about to release, a movie like Titanic. So I'd probably go young athlete that beyond a shadow of a doubt is going to be great, honestly. And I don't know that he's going to have the longevity, but I probably would go with somebody like Cooper Flagg. He's a big guy, and big guys typically don't last necessarily as long. But he's going to make $1 billion if he just stays healthy, and that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, so if I went Cooper Flagg or Drake May right now,
I would go Cooper Flagg because look,
yeah, I
the
probably
odds
would
of Cooper, the odds of Cooper Flagg getting seriously injured in a way that his career ends is very low. I hope it never happens, but we saw what's happened to a lot of quarterbacks, frankly, over the year. I mean, look at what happened to Alex Smith. I mean, that's one of the most devastating injuries we've ever seen. I hope it never happens to Drake May. I interviewed Bo Jackson at the Super Bowl. It was an awesome interview. He said that his injury would still be just as destructive today as it was back then. Now, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know exactly, but, Bo Jackson was the greatest athlete probably of any of our lives, and one hit in a football game, and basically his career is over. So I think you got to go basketball or baseball. If there's a 19 or 20-year-old ball player, Shohei a few years ago wouldn't have been a bad one to be on top of either.
Tripp throws out Charlie Woods. I just think there's too big of a risk. The odds of a father being that successful and his son being that successful are very, very low.
I mean, golf is interesting because, and tennis would be another good one, where you could go where the guys make so much money off the court, the course earnings, because the fans of golf and tennis are so high end that every time it seems like I open the Wall Street Journal magazine, there's another photo of Roger Federer, I think, with a Rolex, right? And so I think that kind of factors in as well.
And Charlie Woods, I mean, just to be honest about it, he's never going to have to win a Corn Ferry Tour stop to eat dinner. He's always going to have that cushion, and that's no fault of his own. And that doesn't mean he's going to be unsuccessful.
Look,
there are a lot of guys that are out there. They're playing to eat. I mean, they're just trying to make ends meet.
There are examples. I mean, that's a great question. What is the best father-son handoff in sports? Arch to Peyton and Eli is a pretty good one, right? Because it's not easy to be as successful competitively as Peyton and Eli were, and they never ever wanted for anything, right? I mean, they were growing up in the Garden District, super wealthy young kids, and yet they had excellent achievement. Most of the time, the kids, sons or daughters, do not have the same level of athletic success. Ken Griffey Jr. over Ken Griffey would be another one. I think that's quite a lot better. But in terms of luminescent, huge stars and their kids exceeding them, it's pretty rare.
Yeah, some people would say Saban to Kirby Smart. Saban's Kirby's daddy, but Kirby's doing pretty good now.
I just had what I think was a good joke. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I saw the news about another arrest for driving-related issues. And I said, is there anyone in America more in favor of autonomous vehicles becoming standard than Kirby Smart?
We clear a lot up.
So you're saying when
Kirby is a funny guy. Can you imagine when you're getting a call at 3 a.m. and another one of your knucklehead players has gotten arrested for driving-related infraction? I mean, I would lose my mind, but at some point it becomes so ridiculous that you almost have to just laugh about it, because I can't imagine that he's not doing everything possible to tell these knuckleheads, hey, do not drink. I mean, it's really unbelievable. I'm not sure we've ever seen a string like this.
No, and you're exactly right, because we're seeing patches now for sponsors on jerseys. 100% Kirby should get on social media today and joke that they've signed a deal with Waymo, and they're.
I mean, it is very, very funny.
Nothing would be better.
He would get crushed for making that joke. But if I were Waymo, or if I were Tesla auto driving or whatever, it would be the funniest possible decision when it comes to sponsorship.
It's actually a great partnership. I mean, it really is.
It really would be.
I know you can't take away driver's license from teenage boys, and I'm sure you guys, either yourselves or when you were a teenage boy, you look back.
I do often.
Yes, we lost Clay.
Yep.
I don't know what we're looking back to. I started driving.
Mistakes you made when you were a teenage boy. Sometimes, behind the wheel, you make choices you shouldn't make.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Drive too fast.
Yeah.
Music.
I'm here. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We lost you. We lost you.
You muted for a second.
I was saying teenage boys behind the wheel are morons. So, I think about this because I got two teenage boys. But to take their driver's license away, but I do think autonomous vehicles of everybody out there, it's going to benefit teenage boys the most because it's by far the most dangerous things that they do.
Okay, I did not anticipate bringing this up, but we were asked a couple times for some reason in the chat to bring it up, and it fits here nicely. Speaking of autonomous vehicles, they are digging a tunnel under Nashville from the airport to the West End. Is this true?
Yeah, the Boring Company, Elon Musk's team is. I mean, I'm not, an engineer, so I don't know all the details. But yeah, under Nashville, they are dealing. They have this evidently in Las Vegas. I haven't done it.
I've seen it. I've seen video of it in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
have you
I've
been
never
in it
done it either.
You've
I
never
haven't been in it. I'll get in it. What is it?
Well, it's an underground tunnel that avoids the Strip. But in Vegas, I think, Clay, it's got stop points for all the major hotels, if I'm right.
I think that's correct. And
Yeah.
so they're talking about doing one from downtown Nashville to the airport and other places. And if the question is, would I do this? The answer is, of course. Now, I mean, I don't know that it's going to fit where I live. I mean, I'm in and out of the airport a lot for what I do. And so I don't know that route is going to be there for me. But I am a huge proponent of autonomous vehicles. I would be ecstatic to never drive again. I would be very happy to I've ridden the Waymos out in San Francisco where there's no one else in the car, right? They're driving themselves. I'm perfectly fine sitting in back. Like if you have a long drive, I think it's even better. I would prefer to just be able to work in the back of a car over drive any day of the week.
Yeah, you do make enough money, to have a car and a
Have a
driver.
driver, yes.
Now.
But it feels weird. What does the driver do when he's not driving?
Yeah.
Right?
Who
Like, I'm not
cares?
actually in the car that much. So I just, I get it. Get an Uber and let him drive me places.
He lets you put that little window between you and the back seat up.
Hey, get him to run some errands for you. Clay, we now live in a world where
Did you put almond milk and not goat milk in my coffee today?
Clay,
By the way, is LT near death?
Yeah, he is.
I
This
don't
is
know.
his final
And
show.
By the way, I'm on day 23 of no alcohol, so it's just one of those weird voice things.
Yeah.
But let me ask you
It's
this.
his body screaming back like, what are you doing?
Please. But Clay, we live in a world now where Jerome Tang calls out players and he's fired with calls. Andy Kennedy locally, UAB's head coach, talked about guys not making layups on scholarship. He gets called out. Mick Cronin, probably different level. He's
bitches
called out
about everything.
Yeah, Cronin deserved it.
But how are we firing coaches with calls now for calling out athletes that are making 6 and 7 figures?
Well, I presume that there's something else that hasn't come out yet about Tang. I can't imagine that the full thing is just calling
Probably
people
Tang.
out. I actually thought Andy Kennedy was really. I mean, I think he makes a good point. I mean, I bet UAB has more, almost has guys making more than almost anybody that goes to watch UAB play basketball. And I don't think it's unfair to say, hey, like when you're a professional, we expect professional standards of performance. And you guys remember this. I remember going to my first SEC games back when I was a kid, and my dad saying, we never boo because it's a college kids, right? So if you're unhappy, just deal with it. They're trying their best, 18, 19. And that was the standard for about, most of my adult life. And now I bet every SEC football stadium, when teams run off the field any given year, there's a lot of fans standing up and booing when they play poorly. And I think you can't just accept or expect that you're going to be able to make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and there's not going to be any criticism of you. So I think we have to adjust our standards for what we expect college coaches to be able to say. If a pro coach said what some of these guys are saying, there wouldn't be blowback at all. Now, pro coaches usually don't say it because they have worse job security than the players they coach because of the contractual situation. But I don't have a problem with coaches saying what fans can all see with their own eyes, which is when guys are being paid highly and they perform poorly, they deserve to be held accountable.
Tony Vitello, your boy, is about to start spring training this weekend with the Giants. And I saw where he's thinking about calling pitches from the dugout, which apparently managers do not do in Major League Baseball. Is Vitello going to work at this level, or is he going to try to do things against the norm like this? You know him a little bit.
I like Tony. I was just with him. We just interviewed him at the Super Bowl. He gave us a tour of the new Giants Stadium. An Outkick, Hutton and Withrow, who do a show with us, had a sit-down interview with him in the clubhouse. So we spent a couple hours with him, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when the Super Bowl was going on in the Bay Area. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, I don't think anybody does. And so we asked about that. I mean, my biggest question would be, how do you balance the fire that he coached college baseball with in a 162-game Major League Baseball season? And candidly, I don't think he knows exactly the answer to that. So we'll see. Major League Baseball managers typically are not highly paid relative to what top guys in other sports can make. And Tony Vitello, I think, will either be a huge success or it won't work. If it doesn't work, he'll come back to college baseball and somebody will make him the highest paid college baseball coach of all time. So I think he's kind of in a great spot. If he loves Major League Baseball and it works, then he's going to have an opportunity to become the first guy to ever win a College World Series and a World Series. If it doesn't work, then he'll come back to college baseball and he'll be the most sought after college baseball coach maybe of all time. So I think he set himself up for, a no-lose situation ultimately. He's got a pretty talented roster with the Giants. I think it's a great storyline that I'm actually interested to follow as a Atlanta Braves fan. I don't usually pay a lot of attention to the Giants. I will going forward.
Do you know if there's any truth to the rumor that part of the reason he left was they shaved off a good part of his NIL to go to women's basketball?
I'm not privy to all of the NIL related.
But you've heard that. You've heard that rumor, though. I mean, that
rumor is out there. I mean, Tennessee has paid. I think I don't know where the money comes from technically, but Tennessee is paying women's basketball players more than I think most schools are paying women's basketball players, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know, how exactly the allocation of those dollars goes relative to men's basketball and football. I do know because of the legacy of Pat Summitt and the fact that they have a huge Lady Vol fan base that they've allocated more resources to womenmen's basketball.
And I don't believe that's working out, right? That old girl that's coaching there is under fire already, isn't she?
It has not gone well.
Yeah.
It is, replacing Pat Summitt has, as these things often go, been pretty difficult. It's an actual awful story that probably doesn't get talked about enough. Pat Summitt still would not be very old today, right?
How old would she be?
I think she was 58 when she announced she had Alzheimer's. Wow. I think she would only be 72 or 73
oh, yeah, she'd
right
still be,
now.
Yeah, she'd still be coaching.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I've never thought of that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would get more attention if it was, a male coach who had discovered that they had Alzheimer's, who was her level of success. But honestly, that's she took over at UT when she was 22. So she had been coaching for a long time. So people know, obviously, her longevity and her legacy. But she would have coached probably for another 20 years, but for the Alzheimer's.
Hey, sticking with Tennessee, if you had to put money on it, who is the starting quarterback to begin the season against Furman? And if Josh Heupel has another 8-4, what is the fan base saying?
Well, I think that ties in with who the starting quarterback is. If it's George McIntyre or it's Faison Brandon, both young guys, and he goes 8-4, I think there'll be a tremendous amount of optimism because that would be pretty good for a young either freshman or sophomore starting in the SEC and knowing you got him for a couple more years. The schedule is really brutal. If you go look at it, most SEC schedules, given going to 9, are pretty brutal. Tennessee's out of conference is Georgia Tech. That won't exactly be an easy game either. So the schedule's really tough. I think, so this is me, analyzing the lawyer. Trinidad Chambliss won his ruling, and I think Trinidad Chambliss will play for Ole Miss. I don't understand legally how Diego Pavia's ruling could not mean that Joey Aguilar gets another year too. So either they have to acknowledge we got it wrong with Diego Pavia, or they have to recognize that Joey Aguilar is going to play. So if I were betting on it, I think that Joey Aguilar, and for people who don't know the difference, Trinidad Chambliss argued, hey, I should have gotten a medical redshirt year, and the NCAA arbitrarily and capriciously refused to give it to me. And then for Joey Aguilar, it is, I have only played 3 years of major college football, and so I should be entitled to a fourth. My junior college, which was the argument that Diego Pavia made, should not count as eligibility years, and so I should have another year. So those are different arguments, both going at the NCAA. But if Diego Pavia won his lawsuit, I don't understand how Joey Aguilar could lose his if there's any consistency in legal rulings at all. And remember, Diego Pavia's lawsuit was also in the state of Tennessee. Obviously, he played for Vanderbilt. But to me, the equity here of those two situations are similar. And so the same result should apply.
All right, he is Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, also on Fox, at Clay Travis on social media. Thank you, Clay. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
All right, appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy, take care. Clay with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
A lot of fun tonight in basketball, especially the NBA. Some other plays for college basketball coming up this weekend with LancesLock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemphill.
Yeah, we had a kind of a rough night last night. We had Alabama for the game, minus the points. They didn't get home. We did have Mississippi State on the other side, but more winners for you tonight, including, as Dunaway said, the NBA is back. Jump on board, free play every single day at LancesLock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Stop me if you've heard this before. They will be out later today at my house. I'm not making it up. 205-229-2090. Whether it's plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And our friends at Talladega ready to go racing again with the Jack Links 500. The Jack Links 500 is April the 27th. All the fun all week long with racing from the 25th through the 27th of April at the world's fastest speedway. Tickets right now available to you. All you have to do is go to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. The high banks, the tri-oval, the side-by-side racing. It is so unpredictable, so exciting. It's unlike anything else in racing in the world, and you get it at a great price right now. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. That's 877-462-3342. Follow them at Talladega and Talladega Superspeedway on all social media platforms. And don't forget to add the garage experience that takes you inside the NASCAR Cup garage bays, where you can watch them working on the car up close and personal. You could almost reach out and touch the crew members, though they frown on that. You get your tickets right now. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Before we take our next break, a couple of other things happening in college athletics. Sacramento State's been a fascinating story of everything they've given up. To recap, Sacramento State moving from FCS up to FBS. They're joining the MAC, where they're thousands of miles away from any other MAC school. What happens with the MAC often is they play MACtion games in the middle of the week. MAC commissioner says yesterday that Sacramento State, during their midweek games, will kick off at 4 to 5 o'clock local time at Sacramento.
I mean, I don't.
There will be nobody at those
I don't
games.
imagine they draw well to begin with, but I really don't imagine.
I've never been to Sacramento.
Nor have
obviously the capital of California. It's supposed to be a cow town, but boy, I'll tell you what, when the Kings hit in Arco Arena back in the day, that
was
place,
huge, yeah.
they were huge supporters. So
Sacktown.
Yeah.
Jim Rome used to love Sacktown.
I am fascinated to see how this Sacramento State thing works.
So they paid $23 million to move up and join the MAC. They are paying for the airfare of the visiting teams coming from the MAC into their stadium. And now, during MACtion midweek games, they're saying, okay, we'll kick off 4 to 5 locally. I think ESPN and or CBSSports.com, whoever broadcasting their game, they're missing an opportunity here. This is a late-night midweek window you could have. You could double-header MAC games.
Why would you not? And you think about the Akrons and the Eastern Michigans of the world are going to love playing those midweek games in Sacramento as opposed to playing in the Midwest where it's 5 degrees and sleeting.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's one other thing in college football. We'll talk about the big stuff coming up in a moment, but Mike Stoops is moving to another SEC team. He's been
Mike or Mark?
Mike.
Okay, Mike.
Mark was the head coach.
Right.
Mike worked on his coaching staff at Kentucky. Now he's going to be an analyst with Pete Golding at Ole Miss. So in the analyst room another great defensive mind in Mike Stoops there with Pete Golding's staff over there.
He was an analyst in Tuscaloosa, I believe, at the time Golding was defensive coordinator. I know he was an analyst in Tuscaloosa, but I believe it coincided with the time Golding was a defensive assistant and the defensive coordinator, so they've got a history together. And Mike Stoops has always been thought to be a very good defensive mind. It did not work out. He was head coach at Arizona. Didn't work out for him. But as I remember it, he was, before the Arizona coach, was he not Bob's DC at Oklahoma? And they had a really good defense then. So he's always been thought to have a good defensive mind, Mike Stoops.
And as we go to break here, before LT tells you about Inverness, we all have followed Lindsey Vaughn's journey. 3 surgeries in Italy. I think she's back in the U.S. now. She announces on her social media platform, while all this was going on, she tears her ACL.
Terrible.
She skis down, shatters her leg, 3 surgeries, and in the time of her having the 3 surgeries in an Italian hospital, her longtime dog Leo passes away.
13-year-old dog the day after she has the crash.
What a brutal run.
I mean,
that is
you think
terrible.
about that, that's 24 hours.
Oh, my God.
And I guarantee you she would tell you as much pain as she was in and how horrific the crash was, ending her career basically, that her losing her dog of 13 years was worse.
Yep. There'll never be another Leo in the family. Leo joins a couple of other of her pets in heaven on her social media. Lucy and Bear are already in dog heaven up there. So that's a tough few days for Lindsey Vaughn there. Inverness Country Club will make all those worries go away.
You want me to do this?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'll do this.
Yeah.
ICC, no offense.
Please do.
ICCalabama.com. I was at Inverness Country Club yesterday. Love going out there. One thing I love, and I had a friend of mine that's a member at another course here in town, a course he loves. But one thing he commented on, and I thought this was interesting, as we had finished our round yesterday and we're just enjoying the great weather, he's like, man, the membership here is so nice. It's very family oriented, just a lot of people having fun with one another. He doesn't get that at his course, and he regrets that a little bit. That's what you get at Inverness Country Club. Just really, really nice people, a fun golf course to play, great tennis facility that is undergoing renovation, and their clubhouse is going to be brand new. The golf clubhouse is spectacular. There is nothing not to like about Inverness Country Club. Call Erin. This is our friend Erin Hilliard today. She is a sweet lady. She loves giving tours of Inverness and talking to new members. I saw her doing it yesterday. So many of you have called, and we appreciate that. 205-991-8608. That is 205-991-8608. Tell Erin you heard Brownie talking about it. Do you want that same membership? She will hook you right up and get you that tour and let you see everything there at Inverness Country Club. If you just want to see more for yourself, that phone number is on this website as well. ICCalabama.com. That is ICCalabama.com for Inverness Country Club.
And our friends at Way to Wellness. I'm about to enjoy a protein bar for my mid-morning snack, and you can have a variety of different ways to help you jumpstart your weight loss here in 2026. Go to the website at planforme.com, planforme.com. People ask me all the time, Way to Wellness, Jim, does it really work for you? And I always tell them, yes, it does, 100%. And here's why. Because Leslie and her board-certified team has a whole menu of ways to help you lose weight and keep the weight loss off. And you can start with no contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. Planforme.com, injection therapy, they've got them. Meal replacements, they've got them. I use the protein bars to keep from bad snacking. They have 100 other ways to help you. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Okay, we'll get back into the historic night that they're reacting to all over the networks last night in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, with the amazing 117-115 win over Arkansas in just a second. A little NBA tie to what we saw last night in Coleman Coliseum. But first, Brown, tell us about the great folks at Crane U.
Crane U is the place to go if you're looking for a new career, if you just want to get better in that crane operating career you already have or the company you've got. Crane U is the place to go. Further training is so important, right, in any line of work, but certainly in crane operation. That's one thing Crane U does. They offer comprehensive, state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes. The video Scott is showing is Lance and our company president, Bo, over there at Crane U. You had never run a crane before. Am I correct in this, Lance?
I had never.
Okay.
And boy, I ran circles around Bo, though. I really did.
The Lance won the day. But that just shows you 2 guys that had never operated a crane, didn't even know what they were doing, how good the training is there. You can make your job easier, job site safer. Crane U offers certification and safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes are monthly, and they can come to you as well. See more at craneu.com, where if you mention the next round at Crane U, you get 10% off. You just mentioned you heard it on the next round. 855-CRANE-U, 855-CRANE-U, or craneu.com.
Before we get back to the 4 downs today that Tyler has for us, I want to revisit what we saw last night. Whole first hour on Alabama and Auburn's basketball game if you want to go back and consume that. But Labaron Philon almost stayed in the draft last year, and then the last minute came back to Alabama. Cut 7, Tyler. I asked him about playing in those 5-on-5 draft combine games and what it felt like.
Labaron, you've gone through it before. How much did this feel like an NBA draft pre-combine game?
Just from conditioning wise, I would say it definitely felt like that. You know, this is probably one of the games that I think we didn't actually like played a double overtime. So it was just like, from a conditioning wise, it felt just like that. You know, just running up and down, really just that pace of level of basketball, just getting used to that. And I think, you know, our guys, we don't really just like try to overcomplicate it. We try to come in, practice. You know, early on, we just used to, you know, go at each other. And now it's just like we just trying to compete hard every day and just build on that.
And Nate Oates said later on, when I was asking him about conditioning, they don't do, you know, tracks and sprints and run the stadiums as much as other programs do, because Nate says there's basketball stamina and then there's long distance running and sprints and, you know, the back and forth.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
training.
you can have a guy that can run marathons and you get him in a boxing ring doing a 3-minute round and he's going to be gassed after two rounds.
That's right.
It is completely different cardio.
So Nate says what we mostly do, our off-season training program, is as much as we can, we play high-intensity, high-speed basketball on each other, 5-on-5.
Well, Philon played 41 last night. Now, I thought he looked pretty fresh at the end. Like, I mean, everybody was a little bit gassed. I mean, he played a 50-minute game. I'm freaking Acuff played all 50, so you know he was somewhat gassed. You're just not used to that, especially at that high stress level, that high adrenaline level. Like when you're playing a pickup game, you know, I'm sure the adrenaline gets flowing a little bit, but it's a totally different situation when you've got 12, 13, 14, 15,000 fans, whatever ended up being there last night, living and dying on every trip down the floor. That's going to wear on you a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it when he made the decision to come back to Alabama, what a wise decision that was. And he is going to be fringe lottery. He's going to be right there. But, you know, last year, if he comes out, you don't really know if he goes in the first round or not. But now he has 100% submitted himself inside the first round.
Because we're sitting here watching on our screens, and Kendrick Perkins started the conversation. He put, I would take Darius Acuff, number 1 overall in the NBA draft. And, you know, the others were saying, no, you got to take, you know,
Darryn Peterson,
who
pulls out again.
Darryn Peterson never plays.
You can't take Peterson.
Acuff played 50 last night. Peterson played 18.
Now AJ, you can definitely make an argument. Yeah.
So, but you know, Perk was saying the guy we saw in Tuscaloosa last night should be the first overall pick in the NBA draft. And Labaron, he scored 35 against him, and 49 for Acuff. But Philon's, you know, distribution, and they won the game. To your point, he's not going to be the first overall, may not be the 5th overall or 7th overall, but Philon looked NBA-esque this year.
Yeah, back to Kendrick's comments there, it's hard to take a guy that is 6'2", maybe 6'3". Brown asked me what Acuff was last night. I said, I think they list him at 6'3", probably plays more 6'2", but you don't take those guys number 1 overall.
You saw him in person last night, Dunaway. What does he look?
He looks 6'2".
6'2". Yeah. I mean, that's
probably,
not huge in the NBA.
He's listed 6'3".
Yeah.
So,
and, you know, Philon, I think Philon might be a true 6'4", though.
Yeah, no, Philon's bigger than him. They looked as they were side by side last night. Give me cut 11. Speaking of the Darryn Peterson situation, he scored 20. He scored 23 last night for Kansas. If you don't know who he is, he's the projected number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft. 23 points, 20 of those in the first half. He hits a 3-pointer to start the second half. They're playing at Oklahoma State in Stillwater. He then motions to Coach Bill Self to check out, and he never comes back into the game. 18 minutes of play. Kansas wins easily, 81-69, but this is another game where he has checked himself out and not come back into the contest. Here's Bill Self.
You guys have kind of had this a couple of times now where Darryn has a really strong first half and then isn't able to go the rest of the game. Just how have you sort of navigated that, and what challenges does that maybe present?
Well, we've had it more than a couple of times, and I didn't anticipate that tonight at all. I thought he was good to go, but obviously we only got 18 minutes out of him, and you know, that's disappointing because he could have had a really big night. But you know, one thing about it is it's happened often enough that our guys have learned to play without him, even though that's not the way we want to play. But that's certainly something that we're not unaccustomed to, right now.
Well, he's frustrated now. I mean, he has been frustrated, but he's hit it, and he's tried to have his guys back, but he's tired of having his back.
Well, that's what Bruce Pearl said last night on TNT, by the way, in their postgame show. Bruce said, in the past, he has a lingering this issue. You'd hear Bill Self say this. He goes, "This is the way I would have handled it. If I was covering up for my guy, I would have made it sound like, he had this lingering issue, blah, 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 blah." And Self has done that. But like you just said, Pearl pointed out last night, Self didn't do any of that last night. But then Bruce went on to say, he says, this is a different era of basketball players where his teammates in the locker room in the old days may have, given him a hard time or said, "What's up?" But in the day of the NIL and everybody wanted to go to the NBA, a lot of those guys are going to we understand, man. You play your 18, you play your 20. Let's try to win as many games as we can.
Yeah.
We all make money and stuff. It's just a different era.
Now, I would almost want to have a couple of heavies on my roster that are making $100,000 that, are good 8 rebound guys, but they still are policing that locker room to make guys accountable, because it started as hamstring issues. It then became ankle. It then became undisclosed illnesses.
Now like symptoms. Yeah, when he's sitting on the bench with the rest of the team.
Now it's cramping. You are making Darryn Peterson's probably making $2-3 million this year. And
look what you're doing to your head coach.
Right.
Look at the position you're putting.
And they have no shot.
A Hall of Fame head coach in.
Making a deep run without Peterson in this lineup. You can't rely on him.
Nope.
And it absolutely would impact me drafting the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want to live
Have
with
to.
it. I wouldn't want to live with it.
No chance.
I would choose the person right behind you.
I would too.
And I'll just use this before you tell us about Michelson and we get to 4 downs. I would use this as an example. Max Crosby, who has been staying with the Raiders through horrible seasons.
Wasted career, basically, right now for him.
Probably got fractured with the franchise to where he's okay to leave now at the end of last year, because they set him at the end of the year to tank for Fernando Mendoza. They didn't let Max play. He was a healthy scratch, basically, and he's pissed off. He was pissed off about it. He wanted to go play football. He wanted to go play, and a team, what were they, 2 and something?
3 and 14.
Yeah.
But they wanted to assure they were 3 and 14.
They wanted to assure that they had the pick for Fernando Mendoza, and Crosby got pissed at them for not playing him.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy you want.
That's the
He's
kind of
got
guy
the
you want.
nonstop motor that we talk about, and hopefully maybe he'll land in Los Angeles this year.
Yeah,
he
I
looked
know,
good in the Chargers uniform.
Yeah, but last night, Chargers uniform. I got what you did there. But last night, I mean, you've got one guy choosing to play 18 minutes, and you've got one guy that played a full 50 and another that played 41, who would have played 50 if Nate Oates said, "We need you all 50."
Yeah.
Nate Oates didn't need him all 50. Calipari needed Acuff all 50. Which one are you picking? I know they're different players. They play different. But give me the guy that's willing to play all 50.
Not even close. You know, it now has not become best player available. If you have Peterson as the best player available, it is that next guy.
Yeah, it becomes almost the best person available.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's get to our 4 downs before Brown tells us about Central Alabama Asphalt. Michelson Laser Vision gives you part of the show.
Yeah, stop procrastinating. If you wear the contacts or glasses, you're wasting money each and every year. Speaking from experience, got the procedure done in 2003. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. She is going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
And Tyler's about to give us his 4 downs, as he does every Thursday. It is presented, as always, by Central Alabama Asphalt. Probably don't need to make the emphasis on the ass part of the asphalt, but it is Central Alabama Asphalt. If you're looking for asphalt work done right the first time, Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction does it. Now, these guys are based in Central Alabama. They do jobs all over the state on major state government and municipal roadway projects. So that says a lot about how well they do the job and what type of business they are. But it may also say to you, okay, if they're doing big projects like that, they don't really need my small parking pad in my front yard. No, that is where you're incorrect. They handle the private driveways, the smaller asphalt projects, things like that. They've got an entire division dedicated just to that. Same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards. No matter the size of the job, Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction can help you out on those jobs. To get an estimate on your job, just call this number, 205-349-0910. 205-349-0910 or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
What's the oldest song in your playlist?
Ooh. Wow. That's a great question, Tyler. You mean...
I have a golf playlist that consists of 73 hours and 33 minutes of music.
Well, that is a lot of music.
Yeah. And the oldest song...
73 hours?
Yeah.
I don't have much storage on my phone.
That may be what's eating up my storage.
Could be. You were deleting pictures yesterday. Yeah, I think you need to delete
The
some
oldest song in that playlist is, I believe, one Beatles song. I don't love the Beatles, but there's one Beatles song that I like.
Hey Jude.
So that's going to be it for me.
That's
it's not
Beatles.
Hey Jude. No, I can't imagine listening to that on a golf course.
Hey Jude. All right. I'm going to do it this way, but I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to do it as when the original song was written. I don't have the original recording on here. And y'all, I'm probably going to get laughed at for having this on just on my phone, but I don't really care. Ave Maria is a gorgeous song, and I've got Josh Groban's rendition of it, but Schubert wrote this. I'm pulling up the year when Schubert wrote it in 1825.
That's going to win, Brown.
I believe that's going to be the winner right there.
That's going to be the winner.
Mine was We Can Work It Out. We can work it out.
Oh, yeah, I kind of like that song.
Yeah, I think I've got some Beatles in here.
Yeah, I'm not a big Beatles guy either, but I do like that song.
Scott and Brooks, what do you guys have as far as old music?
Oh, what a great country band. Scott and Brooks.
That would be a good
Are they
country
Brooks and
band.
Dunn? No, it's Scott and Brooks.
Yeah, what's under your neon moon?
Funny enough, my brother's name's Drew, and that was a joke in our house.
Oh, wow.
Brooks and Drew. So, I'm going to go White Lightning. George Jones came out like 1962.
God, my dad loved George Jones, and I've heard that song, White Lightning.
Can't say that I really have any playlists, but the oldest stuff that I regularly listen to would be some late 60s Zeppelin.
All right.
Yeah, I've got plenty of that.
I've got Dream a Little Dream of Me by Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong.
Oh,
My
wow.
playlist.
Really
That's
good song.
about as
Yeah.
old
Is
as
it
I'll go.
50, mid-50s?
Yeah, that's probably 50s.
Yeah, good song. Wouldn't be on one of my playlists, but good song.
Second down.
Millie Bobby Brown, best known for playing 11 in Stranger Things, turns 22 today. What's the best original streaming show that you've seen?
The best original streaming show. I mean, we can't consider Succession streaming, can you?
No, it was,
It was on HBO. And we watched it on streaming, but I think it actually aired on HBO, not
Yeah,
stream
if
only.
it's HBO, that's still premium cable.
So FX,
Yeah,
Snowfall.
I mean,
no.
technically, Stranger Things was on FX before it was just streaming only, right? Or
No,
it was always Netflix.
It was always Netflix.
You got Ozark. You got House of
Ozark.
Cards.
House of Cards early was great.
Probably going to be Ozark for
I'll
me.
go Ozark then. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about Ozark.
What are some other Netflix?
I mean, I'll tell you about Ozark, man. It still ended good. Like I
I
never
Yeah.
lost it. I never lost it. I never lost energy.
I mean, the way though they completely ended it, like final scene was not great.
Jody says the Pit. He's already ready to go with the Pit. I'm not there yet with the Pit.
I think it's like
good.
It's a good solid B.
Yeah, new episode tonight. I'll watch. I mean, I enjoy it. I look forward to it on Thursdays. It's almost like ER every Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
They're just dropping it every Thursday night.
Would you put Severance as one of the best streaming originals?
It's really good, but it's a little too quirky for me.
Severance is just. I don't think anybody
Ozark,
realizes. I don't even think the writers know what's going on. They're just say, let's bring in a marching band. You want to have a marching band? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, bring in a marching band. What does that mean? We don't know.
That's the only clip of that show I've seen. It came up on my timeline, and I just saw it, and I thought, what is this show about?
Tyler, I watched everything leading up to that, and I was just as confused as you, so you didn't miss anything.
Alrighty then.
Third down.
Better Call Saul?
Are there goats? Are there goats in that room? There are goats in that room.
There are goats.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's some lady keeping them that hasn't showered in 3 months.
Yeah, and a whole family of those people are going to walk out of that office room where there's grass growing and goats are eating.
And they in the read-through, they're like, so what does this mean? We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We may find out at the end of the show, but right now we don't know what it means.
We're going to try to pull all this together. We don't know how, but we're going to do it. Everybody,
this guy's going to wake up. It was an LSD dream, is what it is.
Third down.
So third down is Jeff Daniels celebrating a birthday today, turning 71. What movie never fails to make you laugh?
Oh, I mean, obviously Dumb and Dumber. My Cousin Vinny, though, would be probably at the top of the list.
In that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Daniels movie or any movie?
Just any movie that never fails to make you laugh.
I'll go Midnight Run with Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin. Fantastic.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, gosh. That's one of the best comedies ever done.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I think My Cousin Vinny, definitely. Life with Eddie Murphy. It's an ensemble cast, but Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, the primaries. I can watch scenes of that movie and laugh every single time.
Wolf of Wall Street.
I just watched that the other night.
Did you, Wolf of Wall Street?
I forget which night, Monday night maybe.
The part I laughed hardest at Wolf of Wall Street probably is when he's wearing the wire and he goes in Jonah Hill's office and he shows him the note that says, I'm wearing a wire, and Jonah Hill gets so nervous. Like, he just starts sweating and stammering. He
That would
can't
be
talk.
me.
I know. I mean, it's like so obvious what is happening.
Yeah, but when he's choking, too, when Jonah Hill's choking, and Leo is just so, out of his mind on every kind of freaking, pill you can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie, it's one of those that probably shouldn't be funny, much like Sling Blade. I remember seeing that in 1996 and laughing out loud, and people were looking at me.
Yeah. No, Sling Blade's a funny movie. I'm sorry, but it was a funny movie.
So, funny story about the wire scene from Wolf of Wall Street. When they filmed that scene, Jonah Hill did his line differently. So he asked Leo if he wanted a piece of yellowtail. And so they had to go with that take for every time they shot the next scene. So Leonardo DiCaprio ended up eating about 40 pieces of sushi and throwing up later that day. And Jonah Hill and Martin Scorsese thought it was hilarious.
Oh, wow. Boy, I bet Leo didn't.
He did not. He was mad the rest of the shoot.
Oh, I bet he was.
Yeah, Jonah Hill said he took it out on him the rest of the filming.
Fourth down.
Shutter Island released 16 years ago. Speaking of Leo, greatest twist in a movie. Don't spoil it, but just say what the movie is with the greatest. But just say what the movie is with the greatest twist you've seen.
War with Bruce Willis has a tremendous twist.
I don't criticize you. I just can't believe you have seen that over some of the other great films that you could have watched.
Well, that one was on at the time.
I've seen that.
Hearts War?
Is there a twist?
Is there a twist? The whole movie's the twist.
I mean, look, back to 7. There's a pretty
I was
going to
say 7, but I thought you would laugh at that.
I don't know why I'd laugh. It's a great movie.
There's nothing funny in that movie.
I'm trying to think.
Samuel says Gone Girl.
That's a good twist.
Koenig's Tiger says Sixth Sense.
That's the famous one.
Yeah.
I had it pretty early. If
for TV show, I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I've mentioned it. Bo watched it. You guys haven't seen it yet, but there's a massive twist.
Yeah,
in that.
you've said there's a huge twist. Dunaway, I don't think you're thinking of the same movie.
Dear Zachary.
Oh man, don't bring that up again. Have you ever seen it, Tyler? Dear Zachary, we've asked you.
I haven't. I've only heard you guys reference.
Do not.
Don't see it, but it's a twist that you're like, you will hate yourself on the twist.
That goes back to our radio days. Lance came in one day and was like, I watched this documentary. It's called Dear Zachary. Whatever you do not watch it.
Yeah, and of course Brown goes and watches it when he could have watched Jurassic Park.
I could have watched Jurassic Park, but I choose to watch Dear Zachary. And I come back and I'm like, God, Lance, I cannot believe you even brought it up in my presence. It's awful. I thought I knew what was coming, and I was begging for it not to come, and it came. And then we would have callers calling like, hey, guys, I want to talk about Alabama's offense, but first. Lance said don't watch that Dear Zachary, and I went and watched it. And I'm like, why? We're like, do not go watch
serious.
it.
It's not one of those where I'm trying to bait you in, like literally never watch Dear Zachary. I can't even tell you if it was a good documentary.
I know. Yeah,
the premise was really good, and then it completely fell apart. The Crying Game has got a major twist.
I've actually never seen that movie. It gets referenced a lot.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The Crying Game?
I have not seen The Crying Game.
I assumed that was always the go-to goat for major twist.
Yeah, everybody always makes a joke about it, but
I didn't think that was a twist in Hearts War. I just thought that was the premise of the whole movie.
Well, I never saw it coming, so it was a twist to me.
Yeah, I just looked it up, and it definitely describes a twist. So I don't know. Either Jim saw it coming from the jump, or
much like Brown with Sixth Sense. I sort of knew that's what we were up to.
I didn't.
Now, I did predict that one as well. First time I watched
Sixth
that
Sense?
one. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty obvious early. Like, have you ever seen the Nate Bargatze? Do you watch Nate Bargatze, the comedian?
Not really.
He's like, people literally watch that whole movie just thinking the dude's wife wasn't talking to him. Like, that is so normal for people. They're like, yeah, makes sense. She's just not talking to him. She's pissed off at him.
Doghouse again.
He's in the doghouse. He's like, how have we gotten to the point where people just assumed his wife wasn't talking to him because she was mad at him? I thought it was pretty obvious, but
yeah. And that's our 4 Downs today. Show brought to you in part today by the great folks at Bojangles. Man, just a few more days, Brownie, to make that heart-shaped Bowberry biscuit work for a good cause.
That's right. Now, the Bowberry biscuit's never going away because they're phenomenal. But that heart-shaped one, it's only through Sunday, and it helps a great cause at your local Bojangles. The Hardest Yard, the Greg Olson Foundation, and the Bojangles Foundation, which helps heart health and heart health research in the areas that Bojangles serves, including this area here. So swing by now through Sunday at your local Bojangles. Get that heart-shaped Bowberry biscuit for that limited time, and 10% of sales are going to go to help those great causes. You can always make a bow time at Bojangles. The heart-shaped biscuit's not going anywhere. Or, excuse me, the Bowberry biscuit's not going anywhere, but the heart-shaped biscuit ends on Sunday. So swing by your local Bojangles now and make it bow time.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone, the New York Butcher Shop.
Let's go
Rare
racing.
quality,
It's
well
time
done
for the
service.
Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show brought to you by our friends right there at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and the boys are standing by, and the girls are standing by to help you out. Happy hour, family dining, lunch and dinner, but that happy hour that a lot of people, when they hear that 5 o'clock whistle, go by there and wet their whistle and enjoy a little time with friends and family right there at the bar at Champy's Chicken. But it's all about the great food that Sterling has put together there at Champy's. That chicken is brined overnight, and it is cooked to order, piping hot when it comes out. Go enjoy the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, too. It's our friends at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Forster has just sent me something. I'll read it on air. Forster, go ahead and pop it up for me. It is Indiana is open for business, and our pro-growth environment continues to attract major opportunities like this partnership with the Chicago Bears. We've identified a promising site near Wolf Lake in Hammond and established a broad framework for negotiating a final deal to move the Chicago Bears to the state of Indiana.
All right, I thought it was Iowa last week.
It was?
It was Iowa fighting for it.
Iowa apparently lost. All right, so Hammond, Indiana is where they are talking about, Jim?
Yep. The Bears organization that will serve as a foundation for a public-private partnership leading to the construction of a world-class stadium and a win for Indiana taxpayers.
So that's 20 to 30 miles on average, according to AI, from downtown Chicago. Now, Chicago is a very large place. What do you consider downtown? Where do most of the Bears fans live? What part of town?
I'll go old WGN Chicago Cubs broadcast. They used to always call it Chicagoland.
Right?
Yeah, in the Chicagoland area.
Is Hammond part of Chicagoland?
I would assume that if I have a wonderful Toyota, if I had Hammond Toyota instead of Hoover Toyota, if I had Hammond Toyota,
you're servicing Chicago.
I think I'd be part of the Chicagoland Toyota dealers. I think that's where I'd have my meetings.
If it's that close,
that's closer than.
Yeah, are you? If you're a Chicago resident, Chicago fan, is that big of a deal?
To me, it's closer than Foxborough is to Boston, right?
According to AI, yes, Hammond, Indiana is considered part of the Chicagoland area, the only city in Indiana directly bordering Chicago, it says. So not even Gary. A major suburb in Lake County, part of the Chicago metro area, situated along Lake Michigan. Sounds delightful.
Yeah, so basically it's just across a bridge.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking 20 to 30 minutes out of town, like we kind of used to do that, by the way. There was a
all the stadiums used to be in the suburbs. Pontiac Silverdome.
The Palace at Auburn Hills. I mean, that's well outside of Detroit. Now, they've all gone the other way. They've moved back into downtown Detroit, which that's the trend now, is to get back down to the metropolitan area.
I mean, look, New York, I was in at MetLife last year for
East
Rams
Rutherford.
game, and it's way outside the city. Inglewood is kind of way outside the city for LA.
Would you say Truist Field is 20 to 30 minutes outside of downtown Atlanta?
That still feels like Atlanta.
It does. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
think
But
it's 20 minutes outside.
But outside of downtown, I mean, it's outside the perimeter, and you know how long it takes to get from downtown Atlanta to the perimeter.
Give me Foxborough from Boston.
Oh, I bet you it's more than an hour. Foxborough.
But I mean, we consider the New England Patriots to be Boston's team, right?
Yeah. Right now, though, Soldier Field is in the heart of downtown.
Downtown. Yeah.
But you don't have a lot of that. Now, I was talking to somebody yesterday that works in Dallas now, and he was talking about Detroit. He was like, if you ever get a chance to go to Detroit, I've spent a lot of time there in the last 8 weeks. He was like, in all of their venues, Pistons, Red Wings, all of it's right there together.
Yeah. And it's got
and
an
that's the way
entertainment-
Seattle was, too.
And they built an entertainment district around it where it's, you sell the aerial. Didn't we have the draft in Detroit this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the area around it, how good it looked in downtown Detroit. I was like, well, that's not the way I pictured Detroit looking.
It was in Green Bay this year. It was Detroit the year before when Terrion got drafted.
Lumen and Safeco are across the street from each other, and then Key Arena, where the Kraken is now, is 2 miles away.
I think if you can do it that way, that's desirable. But downtown real estate is often more expensive than real estate in Hammond, Indiana.
But you just brought up the Cowboys. That's a great point.
That's a haul.
It's a haul from Dallas down to Irving.
Yeah. Foxborough, 24 to 29 miles southwest of Boston. As AI says, it could be a 38-minute drive or more than an hour, depending on traffic.
Yeah. So basically, Chicago's doing the same thing the Patriots have done, the Cowboys have done.
This would probably be a bad idea for a major league team to do this, because you're asking people to do it 81 times a year. But when you're only ask people to do it 8 times a year, and especially, I don't know what the I've used the trains in Chicago. I don't know what the train situation is, if it's an easy train situation to get down to the game.
Hey, back to what you said about Nashville and that tunnel. Is that it's not a walking tunnel? It's going to be a driving tunnel?
It's autonomous vehicles.
Oh, okay.
You don't drive your own car. There's an autonomous vehicle. I think since Elon's building it, it'll be Tesla.
So it's just the future of it's a futuristic subway.
Yeah,
autonomous cars only.
That's all I would travel with.
Yeah.
I mean, back to Vegas. The Vegas Strip is such a pain in the ass when it's crowded now.
Yeah. I've seen video of it.
It takes forever.
I don't know what the Vegas tunnel is. I have to check that out. I mean, there's a monorail that's above ground that stops at all the casinos.
I've used that one time.
I've used that a couple of times.
Yeah, Tyler's going to Google the Vegas tunnel, and I've seen video. There'll be a video of it, Tyler. And
But truthfully, that the one in Vegas, the monorail thing, the walk to get from where I was getting to there, it ends up being the same with me walking down the street, and I just don't see people. I'm walking in an empty hallway. I'm like, put me back on the strip where I can see the zoo.
Yeah. Wow, you got to buy ticket or a single ride. See, you pay for it. I think I saw the cost is only $34 million, but obviously now
I've got to pay $34 million
to build it. No, it's what it's going to cost to build it. Hey, scroll down.
So it's not built yet in Vegas.
I thought it was.
Okay.
All right. So see, that's what it looks like. You see that bottom right photo where Tyler, but then, all right. So, but then at the bottom, when they get to the major hotels, there's a staging area there where people can
get on, get off.
Get on, get off at the major hotels. I thought it had already been built. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wasn't this also supposed to be like driverless as well? Like you sit in your car and
you sit in your Tesla
conveyor belt or
so it's almost like you're at a car wash.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Scroll down. What are the loop trips? So keep scrolling down. There you go. Oh, boy, that's smaller than I wanted it to be.
Well,
so Harry
small,
Reid.
it's just
I'm just blind.
Bad print.
Harry Reid Airport, 4.9 miles, takes 5 minutes, and it costs $10. I mean, that's not that bad.
No,
it's cheaper than an Uber.
Oh yeah. I mean, you'll spend $50 on an Uber to go a mile and a half, and it'll take you 20 minutes.
But there's zero shot driving in Vegas. You could go 5 miles in 5 minutes. Zero shot.
Absolutely.
I mean, that ain't happening.
Yep. All right. So Chicago, the Bears, not finalized yet, but Hammond, Indiana, right across the bridge, or just outside. I don't know if there's a bridge or not. Just around the corner of the lake, a great one, is where the Bears are going to build their futuristic stadium. So the Bills have a new stadium coming on. The Bears are about to build theirs.
Is it domed? Is that what they're talking about building in Hammond? Do you know?
At least a retractable roof, if not domed.
There'll be a day where Kansas.
Who else? The Commanders are building a new one on the side of the old RFK.
Yeah, Kansas City's building a new one, right?
Kansas City's building a new one over in the state of Kansas.
That's right. They're actually going to be in Kansas now.
Kansas City's was. I mean, Arrowhead was right by where the Royals play.
That's right. Kaufman.
Shared parking lot.
Yep.
Who else is building a new one or just built a new one? The Jaguars are about to build a new one.
Need to. I haven't heard that.
I think they are just. I think they.
Tennessee's
building one right now.
Tennessee's in the process of building one right now.
I mean, there's going to be a day where Green Bay is truly the only outdoor stadium left. Cleveland is talking about going domed, aren't they?
Cleveland has, they just, and theirs is going to be, it's got to have a huge concourse apparently. And there's something unique about the Cleveland Stadium, and it's going to have the full open glass, like the Minnesota.
Like Minnesota,
stadium.
Like Cincinnati's owner is so cheap, he'll probably never build a new one. I mean,
it's relatively new by Cincinnati standards,
right? I guess theirs will always be outdoors. But, I mean, Green Bay will never dome. I mean, they'll never do anything other than Lambeau. That's what that city is built on. So Green Bay will only play in Lambeau. Like, you could never see them saying, guys, it's time. We got to do a new stadium, right? I mean, they're all about Lambeau Field, and they have added on and added on and added on to Lambeau till now it doesn't even really look like Lambeau.
I mean, Raymond James in Tampa isn't new anymore. It's going to keep hosting Super Bowls and national championships, apparently. But we're just now about to spend all that money in Tampa to build the new baseball stadium.
I thought Jacksonville was just polishing that turd again.
I don't think so. I think
Are
it's
they
a
building a
complete
new
tear
one?
down and
But it's on that site, though.
It is, and it's that's why they're moving the cocktail party on campus.
That's right. Well, it's not on campus. It's in Atlanta and Orlando, but it's off of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Well, where are the Jags playing? Are they going to play in Gainesville again? Or London?
Send them to London.
Send them to London.
Could be Orlando. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be scared to play in Orlando if I was them. They may not come back.
It's a much nicer place. My family loves Disney.
All right. Hey, by the way, speaking of London, San Francisco found out yesterday that they were the home team in Mexico City. So the 49ers are going to play an away team in Melbourne, Australia, against the Rams, and they're the home team in the Mexico City game. So they've got 2 of their 17 international games.
Of course, that keeps them away from that power plant or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. It may be safer in Mexico City than the power plant they have to practice. They're still investigating that, by the way.
A couple of more college football things to get to here, brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank. Before we do the spotlight, tell us about Central State Bank.
Yeah, it's a bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have, but they are also small enough to know you. That's what you get at Central State Bank, a bank that's not just opening accounts and doing transactions. They're building relationships with people. 6 locations across Central Alabama to serve you right where you need them to be. Whether you're running a business, buying a dream car, or just want a bank that remembers your name, Central State Bank has you covered with personal service, local decisions, and lasting relationships rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC. Tyler, hit the spotlight.
The College Football Spotlight,
which is our Shannara Spotlight every single day, brought to you by our guy Alexander, Shannara Trial Attorneys. He wanted to create a firm that could handle any issue his community faced. His community, Birmingham, Alabama. It's where he was born and raised. Well, the firm has done just that. They now not only handle personal injury claims, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Arizona State announcing that Texas has canceled a home-and-home series with them for 2032 and 2033. That coming from the Arizona State side. And Arizona State's going to replace them with Stanford, now an ACC team.
Well, I mean, Texas, nothing to gain in that. The last time they played college football playoff 2 years ago, and game went to double overtime. So, you know, Texas beats Arizona State. What does it do for them? Texas loses to Arizona State. It's disastrous.
Okay, but obviously with 9 games now, everyone's reacting to, okay, Texas is another SEC team canceling these Power 4 out-of-conference games. And the belief is in college football that the SEC is going to backload these cancellations with, win games. I will point out that
I would think Sacramento State will take anything you want.
Yeah, they will. They'll pay you to fly there.
Just this past year, we saw Indiana before the season. They canceled Virginia, right, and played somebody less than for their 3rd out-of-conference game. I think they were supposed to play Virginia.
Okay. Well, that would have been a good game in hindsight.
And I don't think we all got up.
That.
I don't think we all got up in arms when Indiana was canceling.
No.
To add another week out-of-conference game.
It's just the timing of this looks bad with the SEC because you've lost or you haven't played for a national championship in 3 years.
And
you haven't won one.
And we just moved to 9 games, so we think, so with 9 games,
so it's a shell game now. Yeah. Like, okay, we're going to add an extra conference game, but we're going to take away these games you never get to see so that we can add an extra conference game.
And the Big Ten sitting there saying we've been playing 9 conference games.
Yeah, but they don't play a quality.
Ohio State does.
Yeah, some Michigan of them do. Does. Michigan does, but they don't have it mandated that you've got to play a Power 4 like the SEC does.
I wouldn't care if I'm the SEC. Negative publicity, who cares? There is no reason to play these games.
But for me, to solve all this, and it's never going to make it equal. You can't do like the NFL does because you only got 32 teams. And when you're talking about 68 teams with the Power 4, however many it is now, but around 68, 70 teams, you can't have that many teams and have equal schedules. But I think I mentioned it yesterday on the show. I am for let's cut the moaning and all that. Let's go to 9 conference games for everybody. Let's go to the other 3 games. Let's come up with a rule. Let's say 2. It's got to be 2 Power 4s, and you can play 1 group of 5, 1 bye game, and that's it. Everybody's got to have the same thing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. And, there's a lot of hand-wringing about things that are killing college football. NIL gets blamed for everything now. The transfer portal gets blamed for everything. The college football playoff gets blamed for everything. We got people that are saying, the calendar gets blamed for everything. If you really want to hurt college football, keep getting rid of these games. That's really going to hurt college football, because think about how excited we get for the first week of football. Why do we get excited about that? Well, first of all, we're hungry for the sport. We love the sport on this show. And so many of you, that's the reason you watch this show or listen to the show, is you love the sport of college football. We talk a lot about it. But the other reason you get excited about it is there's always this list of games. Now, you're going to get some, big team versus Western Kentucky, big team versus La Tech. You're going to get some of that, right? But you're always got this list of games. This year it was LSU and Clemson, Texas and Ohio State. I've got this list of games that first Saturday, Alabama, Florida State.
And all we need is 1 in every window.
1 in every window, and I'll take it, right?
Every Saturday, we just need a unbelievable 11 o'clock game, an unbelievable 2:30 Central game, and an unbelievable 6:30 game.
Yep.
And it's really nice if you just throw me something and keep me watching at 10 o'clock. That would be great too. But if you gave me 3 marquee games in all 3 of those windows, and oftentimes the SEC does that, and it shows in the TV ratings.
That's right. There's the reason they're the most watched conference this year. But Lance, if the first 3 weeks of football are directional school versus national power, that hurts the sport. It hurts television viewership, and it hurts young fans. Like, the whole reason we are fans of college football is because we watched it when we were kids, right? Why did you watch it when you were a kid? Because we had limited TV options, and it took Notre Dame playing Michigan to get on TV. It took Penn State playing Alabama. It took Auburn playing Texas to get on TV.
Alabama had to schedule Nebraska home and home to get on TV.
And, man, you got so excited to watch those games.
But all it's going to take is the Big Ten getting what they eventually want, a 2014 playoff that we graphicked yesterday and talked about. And you get back to that point, I think you'll get back to those games.
I would hope.
Yeah, I'm not sure you will.
I think you will.
I get into the playoffs because of wins. We're not to the point of where we're not to the point yet where we are in college basketball, where Auburn, who is sitting here with the same number of wins as LSU won't sniff a tournament. Auburn is still in the tournament because of their strength of schedule. We're not to that point where we're penalizing wins and losses, the record, like we do in basketball because of strength of schedule. We're just not to that point yet.
Well,
if we get to that point, then I agree with you, LT. Everybody will line up and play the best they can play.
Yeah, when a loss doesn't eliminate you,
it actually helps you.
Yeah, you could get rewarded just for playing a good game. I just thought of this on the fly. Tell me if this could work, because who's really going to get upset about this is Fox and ESPN primarily. To a certain extent, NBC and CBS as well, but they don't have the investment Fox and ESPN have.
Yeah. Though it hurts CBS and NBC the most.
Yeah, because they get the crappiest games.
Because they don't have the first choice.
Yeah, Fox and ESPN get hurt by this the most because they've invested the most, and they're getting worse games now for their investment. Now, you could argue that ESPN, they're getting a little bit of a break because they're getting an extra week of SEC games, which is true. Fox is not getting anything out of this. What if ESPN and Fox got together and said, look, this is hurting both of us. Let's push our conferences to allow us to build schedules for them at a conference.
I don't think you're going to get any head. Can you imagine Nick Saban saying,
for the money.
Oh, they're going to build our out-of-conference schedule?
Yeah.
For the money. But
Can you see the other 15 conferences saying, oh, look at the schedule Birmingham gave Alabama?
Yeah.
This is ESPN and Fox building. It's not Birmingham or Chicago. And if ESPN's involved, so is the ACC and the Big 12. I'm just saying.
Hey, look,
I'm just saying if you took the Power 4 conferences plus Notre Dame, if NBC's involved in this,
I would sign up for it because they would have some of the most ridiculous games you could imagine.
Would they not?
And it would it be not Texas, Ohio State?
Yeah. Would it not be healthy for the sport if that were to happen? If the TV networks, by the way, it's what happens in the NFL. If you want to do the NFL product, you think that randomly who's going to first game of the season is going to be Seattle playing home against, I don't know who's there, what division y'all play. It doesn't matter, but Seattle's going to be at home against somebody good, right? Why? Because NBC's like, well, that's what we want. We want the reigning world champion to play somebody that's good. It doesn't matter if it's AFC or NFC to us. We do not care. We just want a really good Thursday night game. So the NFL says, all right, we'll schedule that game for you. And then that's the way scheduling works in the NFL. And we get great games in the NFL. Yeah. Now, there's fewer players. I got it. But if Fox and ESPN got together and said, for the health of both of us, we both need this.
But that's why there'll never be a college football commissioner, because somebody will have to give up power.
Oh,
and
no, that's,
all due respect to Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti, they're not giving up their power to have a college football commissioner.
You're correct.
And the coaches and the ADs at Alabama, Auburn, or any other school is not going to give up their power or make their own schedule to the SEC.
You are correct. But I am recommending the ones that have the most power do this. The ones that have the most power are ESPN and Fox.
They can hold those checks.
Yeah, they are financing this whole operation. And if those two would ever just get together and say, look, we've got the Big Ten, we've got the SEC, we've got the Big 12, and we've got the ACC. Is there a way we can work together? You get the equal amount of home games that I get. We'll do a draft or whatever. But let's build these out-of-conference schedules.
But who has more power, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama, or these networks?
I think the networks.
The networks.
I think the networks, Lance. Without the networks, Texas and Ohio State can't pay their bills.
Yeah. Speaking of paying bills, remember when Kenny Dillingham, before he just got his new contract, before Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, he was in the camera and says, man, are you telling me we don't have one billionaire, one guy that can write a $20 million check here in this Sun Valley of Arizona? Well, he's got his donor now.
Al Michaels.
Kenny Dillingham announced, today we released the renderings for our new indoor facility. I know it got approved. You know, I went on a rant about an 8-figure donor one day, and we got somebody very close to that to help with the indoor already, somebody who's not naturally associated with the program, but somebody associated with the Valley for that indoor. So that's trending in the right direction. So Kenny Dillingham getting his indoor facility, somebody writing that check.
So I guess the indoor facility obviously is heat for them because it never rains there, does it?
It's in a desert, so
no.
I'm going to say
what would be your answer?
Likely, by the sound of it, no.
By the sound of it, no. So they just need an indoor facility to get out of the heat a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so they got the check for it.
And now that he knows who has that check, he's going to hit him up for NIL money, I'm sure.
This is something like Lance normally would say here. Since he's without a voice, I'll go ahead and say it. Lance, I'd say let my current team sweat. Write that check to NIL so my team can get better.
Yeah, I would too.
They can sweat out there and practice. Yep. We'll practice at night. Just give me that check for NIL.
And then the best story of the day, and most of the people who watch us and listen to us are good God-fearing people that believes in God's wonderful works on the earth. Fernando Mendoza ended up at Indiana because of a cell call that did not go through. Fernando Mendoza telling the story now that it was down to Georgia and Indiana, and he had decided to go to Georgia. And he said he was calling Kirby Smart, and he hit Kirby's number in his cell phone, and the call didn't go through. It came up, call failed.
I've never heard this story.
And this is God telling him?
And before he hit the number again to redial, he paused, he thought about it, and reconsidered everything Coach Sig says. Really what it came down to was Indiana and Georgia, Fernando says. Kirby, great recruiter, great program. They were this close to making a national championship. I was really going back and forth between the two, and honestly, I was really confused. I was lost in the sauce because they were both great situations. It was a win-win for me. It was really a tough decision. I think there was one time even where I was about to call Kirby to commit to Georgia, and the call didn't go through. And I thought, all right, let me sleep on it tonight then. I really believe God helped me with that.
Now, you guys know I'm a huge Mendoza guy. I've been for a long time. They wouldn't have won the national championship with Mendoza.
Georgia?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
So you don't think he's that big of an upgrade?
I think he is definitely better than Gunnar Stockton, but I don't, better, would that have been good enough to win a national championship?
I mean, it's very skeptical of me to say. feel like Fernando's setting up the Disney movie a little bit with this
Maybe.
story.
And by the way, Georgia didn't have the receivers close to what Indiana had this year.
I mean, I feel like maybe he did try to call Kirby and the call didn't go through, but we've added a little mustard to the rest of the story now.
Would you guys agree though?
I used to call it enhancing
a story to make it better.
The story to make it better.
Stockton was good this year, but I mean, if you put Mendoza on that roster, do you think they win a national championship? I mean, they could have, but I don't think it's clear cut.
I mean, look, is he the difference in them beating Ole Miss or not?
Maybe.
So then you're in the game against Miami. I mean, that's what it would have boiled down to, because he'd have had him in the same place Stockton had him in. I mean, at least grant me that. He would have at least had him in the same place.
For sure.
Is he the difference in beating Ole Miss? If they beat Ole Miss, and now you got one game against Miami, which, by the way, Ole Miss almost won.
By the way, the story's not even close to what it is. He wins Heisman Trophy and national championship at Georgia.
Like, I'm not even sure he wins the Heisman at Georgia. I think part of the reason he won the Heisman is he's at Indiana. I mean, he was exceptionally good.
No doubt.
But obviously, you get behind the Indiana quarterback.
Our friends at Gutter Cap are bringing you part of the show when we come back. Brooks with a graphic on longevity, coaches-wise, with the NIU coach going to Seattle, and who's the coach under the most pressure in the SEC, according to Paul Feinbaum. That and trash in the next segment. Tell us about Gutter Cap.
Yeah, cap it, don't snap it. Call our friend Chris Stewart. He will come out, give you an absolutely free estimate. 205-823-2212. For more information, you can always go to guttercapbirmingham.com. Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system. Fits over most existing gutters. It will only allow the rainwater in. Keep the gutters clean and free-flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. Cap it, don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobile One Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Back with you on the next round. Our buddy AB just sent us a pretty amazing stat. You read that for us, LT.
Yeah, I mean,
With your
that's
beautiful voice.
That's pretty crazy. Per OptaStats, college basketball teams 247-0 in the last 30 years when they score 115 plus points and turn the ball over less than 10 times.
Let me guess, Arkansas did that
until Wednesday night.
Wow.
247-0. That's crazy.
I can't truthfully believe. I sort of heard a stat like that floating around last night. I'm thinking to myself, has there been 247 games where a college team has scored 115 in the last 30 years? It's not really a number you see a lot.
It really isn't. But if you do score 115 points and you turn it over less than 10 times, that is a recipe for success.
I mean, for Alabama, it was the second most points they've ever scored in a game, 123 versus UCF on December 9th, 1971. They're 117. It's only been beaten one other time by Alabama against USF in 1971.
Nicholas says Oates now 37-0 when hitting 100.
Yeah, that's a magical number for him.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't lose almost any game when you hit 100. I mean, Arkansas last night, that's a tough loss to swallow the way they played. I've got another one. I sent it to Scott. I don't know if he's been able to pull it up, but I thought this one was pretty fascinating. Now, I'm not a huge fan of stats where you have to add like 3 or 4 qualifiers, like somebody's done this and this and this and this. But this one was still pretty darn impressive because of the company it puts him in.
Also from OptaStats.
Yeah, also from OptaStats, who must have done a lot of work on this game last night. The last 30 seasons of Division I and NBA. Okay, so both Division I and NBA. A player who scored 45 plus, grab 5 or more boards, dish out 5 or more assists, have 1 or 0 turnovers, and play the entire game. That'd be Darius Acuff and a guy we like to call Kobe Bryant. Those are the only two people that have done that in the last 30 seasons.
I bet Kobe won his game.
I bet he did too.
Another stat for you. Cut 6, Tyler. Here's Labaron Philon afterwards. He passed Brandon Miller for 20-point games in a season last night. Still a lot of basketball left to play. That was Alabama's record. Here is Labaron Philon.
You surpassed Brandon Miller in most 20-point games in a single season. I mean, Mark Sears is the lead, but you surpassed Brandon Miller. But just as an in-state guy, what does that kind of mean to you?
Just keeping my head on with the team. Just not really worried about accolades or nothing like that. Keeping, Alabama basketball the most important thing on my mind, and, my mentality going into games and stuff like that. I think Coach Oates did a great job of, helping me prepare for this game, not trying to press and try to, outplay the other guards or outscore the guards on their team. Just, will your team to a win. And I think, in those last 15 minutes, I really, did that, got my team together and just led us to a win. Try to, get guys open, build their confidence, and just, make the right play at the end of the game.
What a night last night. Alabama's win over Arkansas. They're at LSU this week. Auburn needing a win at home to Kentucky when the SEC basketball continues. Our friends at NASCAR and Talladega ready to go racing in April again. It's the historic Talladega track. It is the race that all NASCAR fans want to come to and be a part of that Talladega experience, and you can do it now by getting your tickets at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA to get those tickets, or to enhance your ticket with the garage experience, that immersive garage experience in NASCAR, featuring access to the NASCAR Cup Series garage bays, where you can watch them work on the work on the cars there. The teams are working, and you can actually hear them interact as they're getting the race car ready for race day. All the pre-race ceremonies there on the track, driver and crew chief questions and answers, and Mobile One Victory Lane trophy photos, all that and more, part of the garage experience, and that's part of race weekend, April 25th through the 27th. Be a part of it. That great racing at Talladega, it's all right there at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Paul Feinbaum says one coach is under the most pressure in the SEC next year. Who does Feinbaum say it is on Get Up?
It should be Sark.
Interesting.
I would agree. It should be Sark.
Should be Sark.
That's not who he said.
He's probably, I mean, you could go so many different directions. Did he go Kalen DeBoer?
He went Kalen DeBoer.
And I don't have an issue with Paul.
He's been on his ass for a while.
He has been, but I don't think Paul's incorrect on this. I mean, would you not say Kalen DeBoer's under an immense amount of pressure? He's the most in the SEC?
He is, but if he continues on the trajectory he's on right now,
I would agree.
Year one and year two, there was a massive improvement.
Yeah, I mean,
you were not here earlier this week when we played what Klatt said about DeBoer and Alabama's trajectory. Not in his top of mind when he starts thinking about the SEC anymore, is what Klatt says, paraphrasing. Same day, Stephen A. Smith saying, doesn't like DeBoer following up Saban, just not the same feel about it. Doesn't think DeBoer's the guy with the fit. It was all same day.
Yeah.
And we had Marty on when you were gone, and Marty took defense of Kalen DeBoer, getting a lot of play nationally on the on-threes and 24/7s of the world from our show on what Marty said, and said he thinks Kalen DeBoer is doing a fine job, something that we've said on this panel many, many times.
I mean, I get what Stephen A. Smith is saying, but my gosh, so we're saying the greatest that has ever done it, that did something probably nobody else is ever going to do, and did it in a different world of college football. It doesn't have the same feel. Well, yeah, it doesn't have the same feel. I mean, what'd you expect?
Yeah, and that's what Marty really was hitting on the other day. It was Kalen DeBoer is not coaching the same college football that Nick Saban was coaching.
No, it's in many ways it remotely resembles it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, even if he was coaching the same, it's the greatest that's ever done it. I don't think anybody thought you were going to follow the greatest that's ever done it by someone that was equally great. Maybe people thought that, but that was a irrational thing to think.
Yeah, and everybody keeps going back to, and according to, I didn't see the Get Up interview with Paul, but according to the descriptions of the conversation, Paul goes back to the Indiana loss and how bad that looks.
That was
and that's
terrible.
what a lot of people go back to is, and Stephen A. did the same thing. You're telling me that Nick Saban would have waved the white flag and in that game like Alabama did against Indiana at the Rose Bowl? That's what a lot of people go back to.
Kalen DeBoer has played for a national championship. He has beaten Dan Lanning head-to-head multiple times. Shouldn't Lanning be getting more criticism?
Yeah, I'm with you on Sark, Lanning. I think Lane Kiffin and Kalen DeBoer, I forget which one of you said that earlier this week. I think they're a lot alike on the pressure that's on them.
Kiffin's. I was going to say that after we talk about Sark and DeBoer, the Kiffin's pressure is immense. It may only be year one.
I mean, this sounds stupid. It's not Dabo Sweeney-like, but I think there's a little pressure for Kirby. Like, in this realm, are the championships done?
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, since college football changed, Georgia hasn't won a playoff game.
No.
I think Heupel's got pressure.
One of you asked Clay earlier.
Did,
hey, as Tennessee fans turned on Heupel.
I think Pete Golding's got pressure.
You know what this all sounds
Brent
like?
Venable's coming off a playoff
100%
appearance, losing at home a double-digit lead in a playoff game. Has got pressure.
If they're 8-4, Brent Venables may get fired.
Beamer could get fired at South Carolina. You know
100%.
You know what this says?
What?
There's pressure when you're an SEC football coach.
I mean, literally it comes with making at least $5 million a year.
There's only a handful that don't have firing pressure. Like Clark Lee doesn't have firing pressure. But you know what? Clark Lee's got a little bit of pressure on him now.
Look, real quick. Kirby doesn't have firing pressure.
He does not.
Elko doesn't right now.
He does not. Golish does it because it's year one. All the year one guys don't. Golish, Simmerfield, all those guys.
Lee doesn't.
No.
Yeah, all first, but that's it.
That's really it.
That's it.
Everybody else has got. I mean, they're not realistically going to fire Lane Kiffin.
But if Drinkwitz was to go 6-6, I think Missouri fans would be
just got an extension.
Yeah, we gave you a ton of money.
Yeah.
What the hell's happening?
We're used to winning 10 games against bad teams, but 10 games. All right. there are not a lot of coaches that remember what it was like coaching Nick Saban's college football. Longevity continues to dwindle down. Brooks put out a graphic yesterday at Next Round Live on our social media platform. Longest tenured college football coaches, and this is all that's left in college football that were coaching before the pandemic.
This is incredible to me. I mean, the pandemic seems like forever ago, but it's only been 5 years.
So the pandemic season was 2020.
Right.
These are the guys that were at their current job through the pandemic, that coached through the pandemic. And it's Ferentz and Calhoun, Dabo Sweeney, Darryn, Jeff Monken, a couple of MAC guys, Narduzzi, Sataki, Kirby Smart, P.J. Fleck, Mike Loxley, Ryan Day, and Tyson Hilton at Western Kentucky.
14 guys on that list, only 8 from a power conference.
Yeah.
Think about that. 8 power conference coaches were there pre-COVID at their current stop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a remarkable stat.
That really is.
Yeah. Those Big Ten coaches, Fleck and Loxley, Ryan Day, people were surprised Loxley survived last year. They churned through them up there lately, just like we do in the SEC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only one SEC logo in that whole list. It has not exactly been a lot of consistency in the coaching there.
Yeah.
Only Kirby from the SEC.
Crazy. Get that kind of content at Next Round Live, Don't forget TNR Clips. That's where you get clips from the show. And, of course, right here on the YouTube channel, if you're watching us now at Next Round Live, where you get great content like The Last Call with Mick and Jake Coker and Bama and Bourbon, which a new one will be recorded a little bit later on today with Aaron Suttles and Lance Taylor. Before we do trash, tell us about our friends at Hemphill Heating and Cooling. My goodness, what is it? Is it a Thursday? Must be time to go to Lance's again.
It is.
Ring the bell, boys.
I talked to Andrew this morning. Adam, Chad, Andrew, they are awaiting your call. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues, home or business. They are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback, was, he's been fantastic. He's been when he's not injured, he's great.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Do you think Trump actually watches the games?
God bless him if he's watching Tua and the Dolphins.
I'd say I think he's a sports fan.
We used to own the USFL team.
Yeah, I think he
Well, I
watches.
mean, he gives you nothing when he's breaking it down. He's really good when he's throwing that football.
I think
he probably has it on in the background. I doubt he's sitting on the couch living and dying with every play.
Yeah, I think he struggles to pronounce things like I struggle to pronounce things. Like that's probably the way I said Tagovailoa the first time I saw it.
Well, I remember when he committed, we're like, whew, it's going to be a long 3 or 4 years saying this name, boys.
Yeah.
We went to it. Everybody, just go to it. It's fine. Go. Everybody knows who you're talking about when you go to it.
You're going to retrash today because I'm banged up. Real quick, though, on movies with crazy endings, Philip from Huntsville brought up, and this was a good one, Primal Fear. Have you guys seen that?
I've not seen Primal Fear.
Yeah.
And Richard Gere.
Not seen it.
And I was going to throw out The Usual Suspects.
You know, I started watching that once and didn't really care for it. I know you're a big fan. Weren't you in it? Were you in the background?
No.
What's the movie where you were in the background?
L.A. Confidential.
L.A. Confidential. Yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that, Tyler? Lance was in a movie?
Yeah.
Have you seen L.A. Confidential?
I actually haven't seen it.
It's great.
No, you catch Lance in the background.
All right. Did you do anything with your hair for the movie?
Yeah, I remember they cut my sideburns. Did I not tell you that?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I was like, man, I might be getting a little close up in Curtis Hansen's breakout film.
There you go. Keep going.
Because when we went to wardrobe, they were like, we got to get rid of those sideburns. I was like,
all right, I'm going to be on camera.
Not to be.
I don't know if you guys have ever been. I just got back from Mardi Gras. I did not go to the New Orleans version. I went to the Mobile version of Mardi Gras. Have you guys ever been to either Mobile or New Orleans?
Mobile, yeah.
As a participant, no.
What's the other?
I've been through, like,
on a float.
I got drugged down there when I was a little bitty kid.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
Did you like
about
it, Dunaway, the Mobile one?
We had a blast.
It's fun, isn't it?
Telling this to Mick earlier this week that it is absolutely a blast.
Yeah, I also went to, I know Mick lives in Fairhope. I went to the Fairhope parade on Monday night. They did an excellent parade, Fairhope did.
Yep, I've been there before. A friend of mine had a little storefront that had a pre-party in their storefront and walked right on the streets to see the parade.
A little more family friendly there in Fairhope than you get in Mobile, and certainly more than you get in New Orleans. I'll tell you who else was at Mardi Gras over the weekend. That's our guy Shia LaBeouf. What's the last movie he's been in?
Well, he's filming one right now in New Orleans.
Oh, that explains it. Okay.
Peanut Butter Falcon is the last one that really jumps to me.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. He's just, he's got some demons.
The Transformers star has been on an extended weekend bar crawl in the Uptown neighborhood since Thursday, say employees of various drinking establishments around the city. He's been seen a lot. Boy, that is not his best look that Tyler dug up there.
Looks like he's going to a Buccaneer game.
It does. Hey,
is he trying to yank his junk out?
I don't know. That's a good question. What does he do? What?
I dug up his look from this week.
That is this week. TMZ has it there. He's described as mercurial here. The mercurial actor ran into a door block early Sunday night at Miss May's Bar, which is open 24/7, by the way. He showed up at the boisterous dive sans shirt or cash. He did not have a shirt, did not have any money. He wasn't alone in what Miss May's doorman described as an inebriated state and was somewhat belligerent, so he's a belligerent drunk. LaBeouf came in right around the time of the Bacchus Super Crew Parade rolled up St. Charles Avenue amid thousands of revelers, most of them deeply in their go-cups, catching throws and watching floats march and marching bands go by. In the middle of the mayhem, he says to the bar guy, "Hey, do you know who I am?" To the bouncer. Was one of my least favorite things somebody can say.
Not good.
And boy, I tell you what, I wouldn't know who he was.
I really wouldn't either, especially that look right there.
No, I mean, if that old cat walked up to you, like,
are you a Bourbon Street's version of Otis? Are you a drunkard?
Lance and Tyler would have a better shot if that version of Shia LaBeouf walked up. Would you know who he is?
I would know exactly who he is.
Oh, okay. Done way you and I are together. He could walk up to me in the Birmingham airport, and I wouldn't know.
I can't even tell you what he was in. What was he in?
Well, you know, he did Disney stuff, and then his first movie, I don't know if you guys remember this, it was called Project Greenlight, was the series on HBO.
Oh, I remember that.
And I actually submitted the script for this. So the way it worked is whoever had the script that was selected, they got to direct their own film, and HBO did the behind the scenes, but Shia LaBeouf was cast as the lead in it.
Wow.
He was also in Holes, which is important to this part of the story.
Great movie.
The bartender says he asked me 3 times if I could use his credit card. The bar has at least 50 cash-only signs. The bartender says I said back to him, "Why don't you go back and dig holes?" That's a good line.
That works good. By the way, Lane Kiffin went to Mardi Gras.
I saw that.
Boy, he is loving interacting with these LSU fans. Look at this. How happy is Lane Kiffin? Look at this.
Taking photos, got the jersey on.
Yeah.
But he looks miserable.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. They were like, and I said he needs to quickly pay him somebody to be Cedric.
Yeah.
To keep pushing him along. Hey, Coach has got to go. Coach has got to go.
Lane is actually, we've been around Lane in social settings before. He's actually a bit socially awkward. Wouldn't you guys agree with that?
More than a bit.
Yeah, a bit was probably being nice. You're right.
And he does not look happy there.
He does not.
So this film that Shia LaBeouf is currently doing in New Orleans, he plays, according to an article I read, a guy that really suffers from some mental illness.
Oh, no.
So I don't know if because he is one of these character
is he a method
actors.
actor? Yeah.
Or method actor. So, maybe he actually has got himself in this spot. And
well, not only is he a method actor, he also himself deals with some mental illness issues as well as drinking problems.
Well,
so
sounds like that.
Sounds like a guy that should go to Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I think it's a bad spot for you. Several clips circulating online show people in China eating with plastic wrap as part of a trend that's gaining traction. This sees people placing plastic wrap on their mouths, or in their mouths, before adding food and chewing, only to spit it out afterwards. I do not understand this.
Yeah, what's happening here? I mean, I've seen a street fight with a condom all of a sudden.
Wait a minute.
We'll get to the condom story.
Oh.
A street fight with Shia LaBeouf. He got his ass whipped.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf got whipped?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, while you're doing this, I will point out that I did yesterday, between driving off of Mardi Gras and Lent, went and got a workout in.
Look at you. Did you read a book yesterday?
I read 6 chapters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, that's more than 20 pages.
I will finish my book today, so it'll be second book in a week.
How much did you lift?
We won't get into weights. I don't know how much the bar weighs, but I
think it's 20 pounds. Isn't
I got a 2-mile run/walk in
Okay.
and lifted a little weight, and I'm sore today.
Well, yeah,
it was
that's
enough
right.
to be sore.
Got to work through that soreness.
Yeah.
Hey, It all starts with day one.
Yeah.
You can't start at day 12, Dunway. You got to start at day one.
I really felt like
Lance started with page one.
I felt like I sat and watched a 50-minute basketball game last night.
Yeah, I've already selected book number 3.
What book are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm reading the Jaws, Peter Benchley from 1974. It's a lot different than the movie, believe it or not.
Movie's better or worse?
Don't be that person.
The movie's the movie's better.
Oh, okay.
The movie's better. There's some actually, and I think a lot of it is just the 60s to 70s lingo that Peter Benchley put in there. There's a little cheese in it, but I mean it's very interesting because there are so many different things. But the next book I read is going to be on the USS Indianapolis in harm's way.
Oh, that's a terrible story. By the way, this is just disgusting. This video Tyler's got here. These are the people in China. They eat with plastic wrap in their mouth. They chew it and then pull out the plastic wrap with the food in it.
Well, why would you just not chew the food
I
without
don't
the
have any
plastic
idea,
wrap and
Lance.
spit it out if you really want to do this?
They say it helps with weight loss.
Yeah, but if you spit the
'cause
food
you're not
out,
eating.
You're not eating, right?
But you're not even tasting it with the plastic
I
wrap.
agree. The idea is that simulating eating while using plastic wrap tricks the brain into feeling full or satisfied. By the way, that ain't going to work for me. I don't have the most advanced brain, and I will own that.
Yeah.
But my brain is never going to fall for this. Not one time will my brain say, you know what, Ryan just ate.
Yeah. By the way, I don't think it works, and I think this is just for us to watch, for them, give them clicks.
Maybe. I don't.
And somebody's going to die trying this. 'cause
Correct.
They're going to inhale and swallow the plastic. It's going to choke them to death.
I didn't think the Asian culture really worried about body image.
They don't. They worry about clicks.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But you'll see a lot of like weird beauty products in
Yeah.
Asia, like made out of like placenta and all sorts of stuff.
Wow. Well, here's our Olympic update today. And this is the urban legend about the Olympics that I guess is true. Olympic condoms are popular as ever at the Milan Winter Olympics.
Yeah, we ran out of them in a couple of days.
Yeah, the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics, 10,000 athletes. 300,000 were ordered. That is 30 per athlete if you do math like I do.
It's a lot of banging.
Yeah.
This time around, Outsports has reported that 10,000 were ordered, 2,800 athletes competing in the Winter Games. You can do the math on that one. But they're already out.
Yeah, 2 days.
2 days. As IOC spokesperson Mark Adams reportedly said, I think reportedly is probably key in this sentence, this clearly shows Valentine's Day was in full swing at the Village.
Yeah. But I would tell you, you tell me what's supposed to happen. If I get the most in shape people in the world hyped up with their highest moments of testosterone,
cortisol, and all those things
in their existence. Shoot, some of them getting penis enlargement injections to make their suit fit so they can go longer.
Well,
and now you're going to pour us all into one village. Once my event's over with, I got a couple of days to
Right.
And it's a different menu. You're ordering foods that you've never sampled before.
It's like
necessarily.
it's like
Epcot Center. You're at Epcot Center.
Yeah, it's a Cheesecake
Yeah.
Factory. It's a large menu.
Yeah. Oh, we're in Germany today. End's a bad word,
Yes,
but
yes, there
we're
you go.
touring around Germany today.
I heard 1992 Barcelona and Spain for
Was
the
that
Summer
the
Games.
record?
I heard it was Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
I could believe that.
But just think about it. You have all those in-shape people all in one place, and it's the time on
Of
your
course,
hands.
I bet the Dream Team did more damage in that village than they did on the court.
The Dream
They
Team.
didn't stay in the village, but I bet they
I bet the
partied in
village came to them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If I remember correctly, I don't think they stayed in the village. This doesn't.
Carl Malone was hunting them Mexican women.
This does not.
His quote, not mine.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
This
I'm with you.
doesn't.
They're out there.
God, I had something else I wanted to bring up on this, but I can't.
No, but this
think
has
of it now.
become a collector's item, right?
Well, I'm just reading through this for the first time. Is that in there?
I bet you get some of this.
No, people are paying a lot of money for
Oh,
these
here it
condoms.
is. Yeah, reports from the Mirror say the Milan Winter Olympics condoms have become a collector's item worldwide. Some sellers asking for more than $100. You're an idiot.
Hey, back to trivia. One of the great team names of all time were two things I avoid: rattlesnakes and condoms.
A hapless Amazon delivery driver was forced to ditch their van after following GPS instructions to drive straight into water. This according to the at some point you got to look out the windshield.
Common sense. Okay,
Yeah.
GPS is not working.
Yeah, this is according to the United Kingdom Coast Guard. The driver drove straight into rising water Sunday as they tried to navigate a 6-mile walking path. 6 miles, by the way, on the walking path.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he is making this up.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. At least 100 people, by the way, have previously drowned in this area, though none in modern times, it says. The driver was trying to get to Foulness Island, a Ministry of Defense on island used for weapons testing, before the truck got stuck. Coast Guard officials warned drivers shouldn't even try to access the 600-year-old path. You think you wouldn't have to say that. It's not for vehicles, should only be walked on. So they've got a walking path across this water. When the tide's out, you can get across, apparently, and this old cat was trying to drive it.
We used to have these.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have these type of things down in Shelby County at a couple of the Cahaba River areas and stuff where it was concrete and the river rolled over it, and you could drive across it if the water was low enough. You could walk on it and things like that. It scared me to death because I was always fearful that Dad, who had a couple of pops, was going to not have his tires on it right, and we were going to get off into the river, and it's the guy that didn't swim that was in the back seat.
Yeah.
I was very anxious.
Finally on trash
I
today.
never feared bridges because I grew up going across those things.
Disturbing police-sworn body cam footage from a hazing incident at the University of Iowa captured legions of shirtless and blindfolded frat pledges covered in food in a dark basement. The body cam footage, which I saw on TikTok, by the way, I didn't even know if it was updated or not, or if this was old, but apparently it's new. It's received millions of views across social media. Since Tuesday, it captured police and firefighters responding to a fire alarm at the Alpha Delta Phi fraternity, November 2024. Obviously, it was not new. As officers made their way into the basement of the house, they discovered 56 shirtless and blindfolded pledges behind the door of a dark room with food splattered all over them, the clip shows. One officer says, looks like we got a little bit of hazing here.
Nah.
Yep. And nobody would answer. I've seen this part of the video. None of the pledges would answer. And the cops are getting very, very frustrated with them. They're like, listen, I know y'all been told not to talk. We are police officers. We're telling you to talk. Somebody going to have to talk here. We got to figure out what's going on. They try to find somebody who was in charge. Finally, Jose steps forward. 21-year-old Joseph Gaia.
Blackball.
Tells the officer, I think it's fake, about an ID. Does anyone want to be forthcoming on what's going on? Anyone? Because you got to see it from my perspective. What the blank did I just walk into? An officer asked the group. He crassly responds, we're holding a celebration of life.
Johnny just had sex with a goat.
What you walked into.
Come out here, Tony.
Tell him what you just did. A spokesperson for the University of Iowa previously told the Iowa City Press Citizen he was not at University of Iowa student at the time of the incident. This guy that had the... I've missed a lot of this story, obviously, because it's the first time I've read this, so I apologize.
See what happens when you don't have good offensive football?
I know. Yeah, when all you do is punt.
That is trash today. Look at that roof.
Oh, what a terrible frat house.
What a horrible house.
And you're living in Iowa.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified walking into this.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, the
Lance,
police
you've
are
seen
pretty
weapons,
disturbed.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was reminded of when I saw this.
All right.
I've been thinking about pulling the trigger on watching it again, but I haven't done it yet.
Same here.
Yeah.
Thanks to Champies for bringing you the final hour of the show, including trash today. It is 12 noon around the Southland and the Chicagoland, ironically. And if you want great food, Champies Chicken is the place to go on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling will take care of you today. Hand-cut chicken fingers, best honey mustard you'll ever taste. The Mississippi Delta recipe, tamales, and everything. Go by and see Sterling. Enjoy the great Southern cuisine. Happy hour tonight. Not too long to about tailgating with Champies Chicken as well. New Bamman and Bourbon's out a little bit later on today. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.